In lane 6, Cure Boating Club 1, John Luke Fern, George Johnson, Jacob Wadley and Alex Fletcher. Lane 7, Whakatipu 1, Ashton White, Keegan Green, Xavier Small, Toby Rorison. In lane 8, Cure Boating Club 2, Ashton Corkery, Theo Giannacorriganis, Louis Murden, Matt Smith. In lane 9, Wanaka Composite, Philip Massey, Tame Borthwick, Michael Zhang and Jem Curtis. In lane 10, it's Avon 2, Ashley Pont, Gus Higgy, Sam Barnett and Rory Smith. It is out there in lane number, it looks like 5. Is it Dunstan? It's Dunstan. Outside of Dunstan, it's Cure Boating Club. Back inside to Wairo 1. It is Wairo 1 in lane 4. That would be third. Whakatipu 1 in lane 7. Watch them. They won't give it up without a fight. Then we go across to Avon 2. Back inside to Wanaka Compson, Cure Boating Club 2. Ahead of them, though, would be Avon 1 and Canterbury. Moving into the Women's Club single sculls after this. They're underway as well. Full program for some of these races and today. In fact, some of these ones in the Dunstan crew, I think it's their third race today. I've seen them out there already, so plenty of rowing in those legs, but a nice lead here. Look at this, 2 boat lengths. There's some experience in that Dunstan arm crew and some good coaching prowess as they are 2 boat lengths ahead of Wairo. Wairo on the inside looking well primed for silver. We go across to Cure Boating Club. They won't give it up without a fight in lane 6. Then we go out further to, with the yellow hats on, it will be Whakatipu. But Dunstan have got this under control. Dunstan looking very good down, coming into the last 150 metres. Nice run on the boat. There's a great exhibition of sculling from those 4 men. Take a look at that, juniors and novices. That's how it's done. They make it look easy, but they've got so much run on the boat, and you can see the very little push-up as they get into the catch and drive through. The boat just keeps on moving without really changing too much in its height. But Cure starting to push Wairo under pressure. Cure have gone again. So Cure have moved up alongside Wairo. Wairo are looking like they have to fight for second. They're going to get bronze if they stay where they are because the run's coming on the outside from the purple haze. Cure are going to go in and take silver. Gold will go to Dunstan. Nice run at the end through the last 100 metres for Cure to come up and take silver. Bronze will go to Wairo. On the outside it'll be Whakatipu. Back inside we come to Wairo. Then Avon. Across the outside again to Avon number 2. Back inside of them Wanaka Composite. Again we come inside to Cure Boating Club number 2. And down here in lane number 1 it's Canterbury 1. Girls under 16 coxed 8. We've got a result for you there confirmed as Rangiruru winning in a time of 7:16. Second was St Margaret's in a time of 7:24. And in third position, where you get the bronze, 7:27 for St Andrews. So the A final of the Women's Club single sculls makes its way through 750 metres. In lane 1, Oamaru 2, Amelia Wilkinson. In lane 2, Avon 1, Briar Moriarty. In lane 3, North End 2, Madeline Coburn. In lane 4, Canterbury 1, Stella Cook. In lane 5, Ashburton 1, Sophie Gibson. In lane 6, Cure Boating Club 1, Abby Jenkins McCaw. In lane 7, Oamaru 1, Emma Spittle. In lane 8, Cure Boating Club 2, Lauren Sim. In lane 9, Waihopai 1, Caitlin Whittaker. In lane 10, North End 1, Christy Foster. This should be a great race. There's some real rowing, sculling talent in that field. And it should be a fairly even affair. In fact, if you look across the field now, I know they've only, goodness me, you could throw a ruler across that line. They're all in contention. Christy Foster from North End out there in lane 10, working away hard, just to inside from her Lauren Sim. And this is where, Emma Spittle's already won a race today, but you can see it coming from Cure, Oamaru, Cure, Ashburton, Canterbury, North End. This will be tight at the finish, I'm predicting. Which means it now won't be. Very even between North End, Canterbury, Ashburton and Cure. North End out in lane 10. Just starting. See a little bit of dropping away there in lane 9 from Waihopai. other than that, there's very little in it. Canterbury, Ashburton and Kew are starting to show a little bit of an advantage as they move into the second half of the course. Great conditions for sculling still here. Don't be put off by the breeze. It is sunny out there. Get the sunscreen on. Fantastic crowd that we can see down here, and just fantastic to see as the victorious coach for a couple of crews today, Calvin Makers, just plonked himself down on the balcony alongside Fred Strawn. So marvellous to have Fred Strawn here. He's a life member of North End, of Avon, of the Otago Rowing Association, of South Island Rowing, of the Dunedin Regatta Club and New Zealand Rowing. Fred celebrating 99 years recently, out here still watching the rowing in front of the officials box. So welcome to Fred, and great to see him along here. He'll be enjoying the rowing, and he'll be looking forward to seeing the nice close finish that I'm predicting we'll have out here as these women's club single scullers make their way down. In the middle, it's coming from Canterbury 1, Stella Cook, Ashburton 1, Sophie Gibson, lane 6, Abby Jenkins-McCaw from Cure. So Abby Jenkins-McCaw with the advantage. Just inside of her is Sophie Gibson. Outside we go to Emma Spittle. Those are the three. Then across to Lauren Sim from Cure Boating Club. Those four starting to move away a little bit now. Into the outside lane, North End, Christy Foster's still there. Just inside of her is Caitlin Whittaker from Waihopai. Then we come down into Canterbury 1, Stella Cook in lane 4. North End 2, Maddie Coburn in lane 3. Lane 2 is Brian Moriarty from Avon 1. And then the second, Oamaru Sculler, Amelia Watkinson in lane number 1. But Sophie Gibson, she's got the advantage over Cure Boating Club here, Abby Jenkins-McCaw. So Abby's already had some rowing today. She's just sitting there in second behind Sophie. Then we go across to Emma and across to Lauren. So Ashburton Cure, Oamaru Cure, these are the four starting to move away. So Sophie and Emma starting to pull away from the two scullers from Cure. Very strong sculling technique from Sophie. Lots of power in that stroke. You look across differently, you see how there's the different styles between the four scullers. All working really hard. But Sophie, she's starting to increase. She's putting a piece through. That's why she's looking so powerful. She's working really hard on this last 200 metres. She's put some work in there. Just that last probably 100 metres, she's really started to pull away from these three scullers. She's got the advantage now. So she starts to go through the 120 metres to go. A very strong row coming here from Sophie Gibson. The two scullers from Cure starting to try and go with her. Emma Spittle's just up the rating. The hands are going away quicker. She's looking to break away from the Cure scullers. It's Abby Jenkins-McCaw on one side of her and Lauren Sim on the other. But it looks like Sophie Gibson might have broken those other three scullers. She comes down to the red boys now. She's got 100 metres to go. She's got 2 boat lengths over the rest of the field. She comes in through there now. 100 metres to go now for Abby. 100 metres for Emma and then Lauren. So Emma's got the advantage over Abby for second. But look at Sophie Gibson. She hasn't given up. She's got the bit between her teeth and she's still powering away as she starts to come down the line. Emma's getting a run in her boat. She's starting to get ahead of the Cure scullers, but she won't have enough left to reach this one from Sophie Gibson. She comes down the line now in the Women's Club Single Sculls. Gold medal to Ashburton and Sophie Gibson. Well done to Sophie. Second to Emma Spittle. And just digging out for bronze will be Abby Jenkins-McCaw from Cure. Lauren Sim on the outside will take fourth. Great racing there from those four scullers. Down here on the inside we come to North End, then across to Canterbury. Back on the inside it will be to Brian Moriarty from Avon. Then we go to Caitlin from Waihopai, North End, and back down to Amelia from Oamaru. So congratulations to Sophie Gibson. So Ross and Deborah will be stoked, as will coaches Justin Wall and Mary Hefford. The Women's Club Senior Sculls. Boys under 15, Coxed 8 final, making its way down the course. Here they come. Christchurch Boys High School 2. Harvey McKenzie, Toby Brook, Billy Cooch, Harry Hawkes, Jordan Calotti, Toby Dixon, Daniel Fazlaki, Leo Wren, Billy Baxter is the cox. St Thomas's of Canterbury 1. It's Harper Sidebottom, Brendan Safford, Geno Shea, Samuel Amaris, Declan Ducey, James Loader, Jacob Teller, Ben Morrison, Carlson Fernandez. In lane 4, looking very handily placed out there at the moment is St Andrews College number 1, Tag Maloney, Hendrick, Todd Hunter, William Gilray, Jonty Moorhead, Henry Tyler, Timothy McLaren, Oliver Barker, Henry Pitts, Jonty Pye the Cox. Leading at the moment in lane 5 is Christchurch Boys High School number 1, Ben Walker, Miles Chatter, Ruben Fifield, Hugo Parnham, Henry Seaver, Patrick O'Regan and Charlie Greensley with Ryan Hong, Sam Moffat. In lane 6 and second right alongside them would be Shirley Boys High School 1, Jack Benout, Brimwin Flavel, Tiaki Wikatane, Noah Rose, Joey Hemi, Brendan Keane, Reef Wilson, Logan Skelton, AJ Jordan is the Cox. Lane 7 is Christ College number 7. It's number 2 even. Christ College number 2, Matua Cox, Daniel Wilson, George Davison, Joshua Brown, Zach James, Jack James, Gosh Moylan, Charlie Flutie, Jack McEwen is the Cox. Shirley Boys High School number 2 crews out there in lane 8. Tane Griggs, Oliver Braun, Silas Freeman, Finn Lloyd, Oliver Lyth, Jack Stewart, Killiam Hill, Van Hout, Max Henry and Jasper Muir. And completing the field in lane 9 is Christ College 1, Harvey Grubb, Gus McKenzie, George Dale, Oliver Simpson, Louis Fogarty, Max Osmers, James Maluish, Tom Gardner and Jamie Burden is the Cox. But look at them coming down there now. It's the crew from Christchurch Boys High School. They've got a boat length over Shirley Boys. Shirley Boys second at the moment. Well, no, they'll be third because Christchurch St Andrews College sitting there in second position. Nice row here though from Christchurch Boys. The boys under 15, coxed 8, being led down the field we are by the Christchurch Boys High School crew. The battle for second and third is between Shirley Boys and the crew from St Andrews College. So as they come down here, who's going to take silver, who's going to take bronze? Gold will go to Christchurch Boys High School as they continue as they are. Time there for Sophie Gibson, 8:34. Emma Spittle finishing second in 8:38 and Abby Jenkins McCaw fourth in 8:40. In the Women's Club's single sculls, only half a second between third and fourth in that race. There'll be more in this one. Down they come. Boys under 15, coxed 8. 100 metres to go for Christchurch Boys. Well done to them and the coaching crew there. Fantastic effort. And Shirley Boys coming down, and it looks like they've moved ahead of St Andrews. Great result here for Shirley Boys to finish second. They'll be wrapped with this as they come down. Less than 100 metres to go for them now. They've moved well ahead of St Andrews College. So Christchurch Boys High School, they've got 4 strokes to go as they come up the line. Well stroked they were, coxed by Sam Moffat. He guides them over the line, and a gold medal they take to Christchurch Boys High School. Second in silver is going to be Shirley. Well done to Shirley. AJ Jordan coxing the crew down there. They're pretty happy with that, I would think, and tired. And across the line comes St Andrews College to take bronze. 1, 2 and 3 in the boys under 15, coxed 8. Fourth, it looks like it's going to be between St Thomas's and Christ College as they continue down the field. Then we go on the outside to Shirley Boys High School number 2, inside to Christchurch Boys High School number 2, and then on the outside it will be Christ College number 1. And as the under 15 eights complete, we can see we've got the men's novice coxed quadruple sculls coming through the 1,000. Poking themselves in directly behind there is the mixed masters double sculls. They'll be making their way down there. And then they'll be just getting into position to take off. So less than 1,000 metres to go for the men's novice coxed quadruple sculls. Those crews there in lane 1, Otago 1, Thomas Hinton, William Light, Otis Rawlin, Fergus Dillon, Archie Moyer as the Cox. In lane 2, Nelson 1, Oliver White, Charlie Parker, Ali Nichols, Liam Seelan and Blair Lind the Cox. In lane 3, Invercargill 1, it's George Browning, Alex Henderson, Tane Wilson, Jamie Gray, Noah Lucy the Cox. In lane 4, Twizel 1, Ralph Henderson, Orlando Nurin, Corbin Lloyd, Jack McClellan, Stevie Finch and Putter the Cox. Let's watch that crew and see how they go. It's been a golden morning for Twizel so far. In lane 5, Wairo 21, Hanare Panaho, Aidan Bennett, William Lowe, Walter Wickham and Blake Pitts. He's coxing, coached there by Ethan Oldleast. Lane 6, Oamaru 1, Harrison Friend, Stuart Ispister, Jake Ronnie, Jacob Harrison and Henry Robertson. In lane 7, Whakatipu 1, Finlay Woods, Hagen Brown, Max Davis, Toby Tregiga and Ollie Watson the Cox. In lane 8, Dunstan Arm 1, Liam Pyle, Remy Rufy, Christopher McIntosh, Max Smith the Cox. Max Smith is in there and they're being coxed by his sister Sophie and coached by the father Simon. In lane 9, Ashburton 1, Caleb Armstrong, Joel Moffat, Peter Armstrong, Drew Gilbert, Lily Davis and the Cox. And out there in lane 10 it is Otago Boys High, Harvey Brown, Archie Colhoun, Tom Dunn, Tim Signott and Angus Perkins, the cox. So boys, novice, cox, quadruple sculls. Into the last 750 metres they go. And it is with Twizel showing strongly. So Twizel there in lane 4. 2 lanes across at Oamaru. So Twizel got a nice advantage here, Kelvin. You're sitting there with Fred. There's some knowledge between you two trying to see what's happening coming down the course. 2 lanes across they go to Oamaru in lane 6. Then we go out to Dunstan Army. Won't be out of this. They're sitting out there in lane number 8. They'll be pushing on for model medals at the moment. Alongside them is Ashburton number 1. Then we go back to Otago Boys High School. Wairo in the middle of the field. Back we come again then to Nelson and Otago. But this battle's starting to emerge now between the Twizel crew and Oamaru. And then Dunstan. So the 3 real southern crews starting to have a do at each other. So there's been some rowing in the legs of these boys so far this morning. And Ashburton, that yellow skull out there with the carrot on it, just pulling up alongside Dunstan. Starting to put some pressure on there. Twizel have lifted. They can see the challenge coming from Oamaru. They want to keep in front of them. That's where the battle will be between Twizel and Oamaru and the men's novice cox quadruple sculls. As they come through now, past the 250 metre mark they go, past the big crowd there on the outside. The Twizelians will be starting to get excited soon. It's Twizel with a boat length over Oamaru, then Dunstan. Then we come back inside to Wairo. Then we go across to Ashburton, back inside to Whakatipu. Then we go again to, look at Invercargill coming in lane 3, trying to put some pressure on for a minor medal. They've up there waiting to come down there. Then it's further back to Nelson and Otago out of it. But Twizel looking strong. Twizel with 120 metres to go. They've still got a boat length and a half over Oamaru. It looks like they've gone again. Nice run on this boat from Twizel. They're controlling this race now. There's 2 boat lengths now between them and Oamaru. Back inside to Wairo. Out this side to Dunstan, then Ashburton, then we come back to Whakatipu, then it is to Invercargill, still pushing through. Invercargill in the hunt here for a bronze if they keep going like that, but gold's heading to Twizel. It'll be coming here. They're rowing really strongly, these boys. What a gold. This will be their 3rd gold this morning as they come down Twizel. 50 metres to go, 2 boat lengths ahead of Oamaru. Keep going, boys. Down the line they come. They're looking easy. Well trained, they must be. Congratulations, Twizel go over the line, take the gold medal. 2 boat lengths back to Oamaru, who looks like they're going to take 2nd. The bronze medal's going to go to Wairo. Wairo have rowed through Dunstan. Dunstan will take 4th. 5th's going to go to down here. It looks like in lane 3, Invercargill. Oh, very little between Invercargill and Ashburton. Nice finish from Invercargill. Then we go to Whakatipu, down to Otago, back to Nelson, across the outside to Otago boys. Congratulations to Twizel. Boys under 15, coxed 8, won by Christchurch Boys High School that race in a time of 6:51. 2nd went to Shirley Boys 6:57. 3rd to St Andrews 7:02. The Masters are on the track. Mixed Masters double sculls will just about be my lot on the women's under 7, the girls under 17 double sculls. Then I'll be taking a break because Clive's just joined me to take over again. We've jigged the commentary around so that the commentary team captain, Russell Mills, will be able to bring through the finals of the 8s later today. But as we look at the Mixed Masters double sculls, in lane 1, Union 2, Tanya McDonald and Stuart Wade. Lane 2, Cure Boating Club Composite with Simon Carey and Megan Walkland. In lane 3, Union 4, it's the Love Boat, Catherine and Matthew Sullivan. In lane 4, it's Union 6, Shelley Atkinson and Benny Liebing. In lane 5, it's Wanaka Composite, Maud O'Connell from Cromwell and Chris Brooks from Wanaka. In lane 6 is David Galbraith and Grant McKenzie from Invercargill. And then in lane 7, Union 5, Wendy Duggan and Lincoln Sell. Lane 8, Union 3, Deb Hymas Ross and Theo Hudson. And then in lane 9, the 2nd Love Boat, Dominic and Kirsty Marnie from Union 1. And then in lane number 10, it looks like we've got a scratching because that would have been Twizel, and for obvious reasons they're not there. So out we go into, I would imagine, lane 9 doing a good job here. They're all racing under various handicaps, so it is Deb Hymas Ross and Theo doing a good job out there in lane number 8. Then we go across to Dominic and Kirsty Marnie. Great rowing experience between those two in lane 9. they'd be in second. So they had a 14-second handicap, which means they had to sit on the start line for 14 seconds, and they're doing their best to eat into most of that. Down here in lane number 1 is Union 2. They had a 10-second handicap, and this is the way that in Masters rowing they can account for the various ages. So depending on what your age combination is, you get an average, and based on the average you get a handicap. So Union, Union and Union, and then we go across to, in lane 4 would be Shelley Atkinson and Benny Liebing. They had a 14-second handicap, as did Kath and Matt Sullivan in lane 3. Then we go across to Invercargill in lane 6, and to Wendy and Lincoln in lane 7 from Union. So coming down to the line to take this one out will be Deb and Theo from Union. Then we go across to Kirsty and Dominic Marnie. Down here in lane 1 will be Stuart Wade and Tanya McDonald. Spent a lot of time rowing on this lake, those two, and there's a lot of time coaching some of the juniors at Union. Into lane 4 will be Shelley and Benny, and then we go outside to Invercargill will come across, followed by Wendy and Lincoln from Union, and then we have Matt and Kath just having an outing there, just taking in the sights and the scenery. Marvellous place to be, and they want to make the most of their time out there. Matt Sullivan modelling the latest in bucket hats. Hopefully he's got his logo around the right way today. Oh no, they've had enough. You're going to stop there, Matt and Kath? You're not finished yet. Keep going. 1, 2... There you go. Thanks very much for competing. Right, so now we go back to one more race I'll bring through, which will be the girls under 17 double sculls, and then we'll hand you over to Clive. So in lane 1, Ashburton 3, Rosa Armstrong, Sienna Skilling. In lane 2, Ashburton 1, Honor Bradford and Gemma Bent. In lane 3, Whakatipu 1, Olivia Bissett and Maya Pagan. In lane 4, Columba College 1, Genty Minty and Bridget Sutton. In lane 5, North End 1, Perry Hoare and Olivia Ollerenshaw. In lane 6, it's Wanaka 1, Anika Massey and Annie Wells. In lane 7, Columba College 2, Hannah O'Neill, Sarah Reynolds. In lane 8, Marion College 1, Faya Wayman and Francesca Tohoriki. In lane 9, Burnside High School number 1, Katie Mitchell and Sam Rankin. And in lane 10, Wanaka 2, it's Kate Ritchie and Lola Ritchie. Into the last 1,000 metres they come. It's coming out of Columba College in lane 4. North End in lane 5 have got the advantage. Look across on the outside there, we can see that Burnside High School number 1's in the mix as well in lane 9. But a big advantage there at this early stage. It would look to be for North End, I think. North End from Columba. Time for men's novice coxed quadruple scull. Twizel, 7:12.84. Oamaru, second in the silver medal, 7:19.34. And Wairo finishing third in 7:22. And just confirming the result there for the Mixed Masters double sculls. Union taking all 3 medals. Theo and Deb first. Kirsty and Dominic second. And Stuart and Tanya finishing third. So North End continuing to lead these crews through. Down the course they come from Columba. Just on the outside of North End is Wanaka. Then we go to Burnside out there in 4th. A bit of separation starting to come. Just watching down here in lane number 1. Ashburton 3, Rosa Armstrong and Sienna Skilling looking to sneak through here now. Then they are doing that too. So the number 1 crew's down there in lane 2 and Whakatipu in lane 3. But look at Ashburton having a run down there in front of you spectators around about the 17:50. They've probably moved, we'll wait and see when they go past the 250 metre camera, but a nice run coming down from that crew. They've probably pushed into 3rd actually, and it's still going to be North End leading. North End from Columba on the outside to Burnside, then Ashburton. So between Burnside and Ashburton, we also have a look and see what Wanaka are doing. So this will be a good tight finish here for the minor medals in this girls under 17 double sculls. Good row here though from North End, Perry and Olivia. They've got a 2 boat length lead over Columba, Genty and Bridget. Then I'm looking at Wanaka, but still looking at this Ashburton crew. Sneaking down there in lane 2 they are. Right in front of you spectators now they come. Starting to push up on Columba. It's still North End, Columba. Across to Burnside, back inside to Wanaka, then Ashburton. Can Ashburton keep going? Columba have looked across. They can see Ashburton coming. Ashburton would be third in that sleeper lane in lane number 1. Down there, Ashburton 3. That's Rosa and Sienna, but it's North End at the moment. And North End from Columba. Columba back to Ashburton. Across we go to Wanaka. It's coming again from Whakatipu in lane 3. Lane 3, Whakatipu have started to wind it up and try and put some pressure on for the minor medals as well. They won't catch North End. Columba and Ashburton going at each other for second and third. Columba have gone. Their hands are moving quicker. They're starting to get a better run on their boat. I wonder if Ashburton have got anything left. They've had a good push in the last 300 metres. What have they got to come? They've moved themselves into third. Nice push there from Ashburton. North End now starting to be a little bit of pressure from Columba, but they've still got 2 boat lengths over them. Columba getting a good run to make sure they're going to take care of second. These 3 crews starting to move ahead. North End, Perry and Olivia are going to come down and take the gold medal. They've got 50 metres to go, all going well. They've got 2 boat lengths ahead of Columba College. Columba College then back to Ashburton, who will take the bronze ahead of Whakatipu and Wanaka, and on the outside to Burnside, the buzzer goes to North End, gold medal to them. Silver medal comes down to Columba, and then a well-earned and well-rowed bronze medal down here for Ashburton in lane 1. Then it's across to Wanaka, Whakatipu, Burnside to complete the major placings. That's me. I'll be back later on. I'll hand you over to Clive. Enjoy the rest of the racing. Up next, it's the boys under 17 coxed quadruple sculls.
There, Ian. Okay, we're handing over here. Obviously, this is my last session for today, so thank you for everyone for coming down. I hope you've all had a great weekend. We're obviously going to watch the last of the races the next few hours. We've got plenty to go, though. Don't worry about that. I think we're going up to about race 250. Let me just check. Yeah, looking like it. 250. I think we're going up to 250. So we got 251, actually, 251. So this is the boys under 17 coxed quadruple sculls. We've got Dunstan Arms, Shirley Boys, Timaru, Otago, Otago Boys High, Nelson and Otago Boys High 2. And as we take a look at it here, in lane number 5, it's Otago 1 who have got the lead. They've got a little bit of clear water. The 2 boats fighting for second and third. We have in lane 8. In lane 8 we have Otago Boys High 2 who are battling against the lane 4 Timaru crew. So Timaru sitting in a comfortable second now, trying to put some pressure, but I think they're going to run out of time. And it is indeed going to be Otago who are going to take the gold here. Otago, yet Timaru are putting them under a bit of pressure. They're taking it. They haven't taken a seat yet, but just a little bit of a canvas there. They're over the line. Timaru take it. Sorry, Timaru comes second. Otago take it. And then over on the far side is Otago Boys High in lane 6. Over the far side now we have Nelson coming over the line. Down here we then have in lane number 3, that's Shirley coming over the line. Then we're going to have Dunstan Arm 1 down here, and then over the far side that's another Otago Boys crew. So that's our under 17 coxed quadruple sculls. We've got a women's intermediate single sculls coming through now. This is a B final. Let's have a look at who we've got rowing here. We've got Avon 4, Courtney Preble, Wairau 1, Lexi Pottinger, Waihopai 1, Charlotte Klein, Union 3, Rose Thompson, Whakatipu 1, Lucy Clark, Ashburton 3, Ruby Leverton, North End 2, Liesl Tolson, Avon 1 is Lucy Ray, Burnside High School 1 is Charlotte Carey, and Union 2 is Ruby Lewis. This, as I say, is the B final. Just a reminder, please, to all the crews to make sure you are collecting your medals on the way through the day, because obviously we don't want them all being collected in a mad rush later on. So it is important, if you have medals first, second, third, that you get in there and obviously collect those medals, and you know where you're going. It's in the lodge, or in the lounge, we should say, the Fran Mackay lounge, and they're waiting to obviously receive you and therefore get your medals to you. Also remember, people, obviously tidy your bits and pieces away, take all your rubbish with you, all your coffee cups and all the incidentals, any wrappers, make sure you take it away, and obviously be a tidy Kiwi. So as we come through the 1,000, I can see that they're on the screens there, that they're all through the 1,000, and there's going to be some close racing on this B final of the women's intermediate single sculls. So just looking at it here, it's lanes 4, 5 and 7 who appear to be making the headway. It's Rose Thompson from Union 3, Lucy Clark from Wakatipu 1, and Liesl Tolson from North End. I think Ashburton's Ruby Leverton is just hot on their heels as well. Union 3, Rose Thompson, is leading them down here from lane 4. Just checking on the inside lanes just as I pick them up. Yeah, lane 1 has obviously dropped back. Lane 2, lane 3, which is where Hope High, is also back on our number 4 rower, which is Union 3, Rose Thompson. Just looking across, she's in a race with the Ashburton rower Ruby Leverton. So it's lane 4 racing lane 6, and then further out from there we've got North End Liesl Tolson, Avon 1 Lucy Ray, Burnside High School Charlotte Carey, and Union 3 Ruby Lewis. So as we make their way down, they've just gone through, or just going through, the 1,500 metre mark, and we've got those 3 rowers out front, and then a gaggle of rowers coming through and behind. So let's just have a look here. It is indeed, it's the Ashburton rower there against Union. Then just down slightly from that is the Waihopai rower Charlotte Klein. So Charlotte's trying to get involved. She's just a length or 2 back from Rose Thompson, and let's keep an eye on them and see if anyone's going to put a big move on now. Rose just has a quick look across at the inside, just making sure she's managing that, but she'll need to be aware of the Ashburton rower, the Ruby Leverton, who's on her outside. There's not much in this. She has got a half a boat length on her, maybe a boat length on her. Check down the inside, make sure no one's making a charge there. No, Avon is still back, as are Waihopai are in the mix. They'll be looking to come through and get a 3rd place in this. Ashburton are trying to take it to, it looks like she's up the rating. Yes, she looks across again. She's up the rating, but lane number 4, Rose Thompson, is managing that quite well. She's got a boat length. I think Ashburton are just looking across now, making sure they manage that 2nd place, because that's what they'll be wanting. There's a gaggle of boats coming through after these 3, and it does look like Waihopai Charlotte Klein has just dropped back a smidgen, but it's Rose who's going through. She's now got a comfortable boat length of clear water, and she's in the white boat there. She's coming down now. The last 10 metres, Few strokes. Well, I hope I've closed up on Ashburton. I don't know if they left it too late, but that's a big finish. She's half a boat length back. Ashburton are just holding on. There's our winner. Rose has gone through. Second place is Ashburton. And then it's Charlotte Klein for Why Hope I. So well done to Rose, Ruby and Charlotte. That's our B final. Our A final, race 217. Women's Intermediate Single Sculls. It's the A final. There's a raft of boats coming over now. Let's have a look who's racing here. Otago Girls High School, Kate Merriman. Burnside High School 2, Fern Harrison. Canterbury 1 is Kate Stretton. Wanaka 1 is Dana Leishman. Cure Boating Club, Keeley Begg. Canterbury 2, Hayley Wheeler. Otago Uni 1 is Tyler Alexander. Kashmir High School 1 is Eliza Omega. Timaru 41 is Sahana Ainsey Oodsman. And Avonside Girls High School is Sarah Webley. So we've got quite a spread out field here, but there's it is lane number 5 as per the ratings. Women's Intermediate, that is Keeley Begg from Cure Boating Club. Yes, it certainly looks like it. There's that Cadbury's Chocolate Purple. Lane number 5, and she's got 2-3 lengths over the rower on the inside just there, which is Wanaka Dana Leishman. Getting in the mix out on the far side is the Timaru rower, Timaru 4-1, Sahana. So Sahana's in the mix for third. She'll be fighting it out with the Canterbury rower in lane number 3, which is Kate Stretton. So there's our leading rowers, but we can certainly say that Cure Boating Club, Keeley Begg, in the Women's Intermediate Single Sculls, Keeley's coming down. She's got 2-3 boat lengths over the Wanaka rower Dana Leishman. Good support here from Cure. Plenty of support from the crowd for all these rowers. So as we come down, approximately 25 metres to go, it is indeed lane number 5 from Cure Boating Club. Keeley Begg is going to take the win. It's all closed up for second. Wanaka are just holding on, but she's coming under pressure from Canterbury, and also she's over the line, she's won. Wanaka are just holding on for second. They've got second. Third place has just been taken by Canterbury's Kate Stretton, and that has pushed Timaru Sahana back into fourth. Down on the inside here, lane number 1, Otago Girls High School come over the line, and then we look back and we see lane number 7 and lane number 6 coming over, which is Otago Union Kashmir. Boys under 16 coxed 8 final, St Andrews College 2, St Thomas of Canterbury, Christchurch Boys High School, St Andrews College, Christ College, Christchurch Boys High. Let's see what we've got happening. Picking them up, and it is St Andrews battling with Christchurch Boys High School. They've left the other boats in their wake, so St Thomas of Canterbury, desperate to know the name of that gnome. They're battling with Christ College over on the far side, but it is St Andrews going hammer and tong with this Christchurch Boys High School crew, and they are neck and neck. I'm going to say that there is a canvas in it, if that, and that's by Christchurch Boys High School. There's not much in this at all. St Andrews putting it all in. The coxswain's talking to them, and there is absolutely urging them on. Really giving them. And they've just fallen. They're a canvas behind. They're 1 seat behind. Big finish here. Big finish from Christchurch Boys High School. They're just going away from them. They're just going away. They've got 3 seats now. They've got 4 seats. Christchurch Boys High are going to take this over St Andrews College, the boys under 16. 4 seats in that, but not a lot. Well done, you two crew. St Thomas of Canterbury are coming through here. They are going to come through and take third in lane number 4. It is St. Thomas of Canterbury. And over on the far side there is Christ College 1 coming over the line. And down here is the second St. Andrew's crew, St. Andrew's College 2. They come over the line now. That's the boys under 16 coxed 8 final. Moving through, so we go on to race number. I'll just see if I can give you the time there. Just quickly, the time for the single there, women's intermediate, was 8:41 and 8:48 in second place and 8:50 in third. So well done to the Cure rower there, who is where's she gone? It was Kate, wasn't it? It was, sorry, Keeley Begg. Well done, Keeley. I'll give you the times of that next race as well when I get them. But we're looking now at race 219, the women's novice coxed 4. This is a B final, so I'll pick this up a part of the way and then see if I can pick up the A final early, because we've got a full 10 boats in each of this. We've got Christchurch Girls High School 2, St Andrews College 2, Cashmere High School 1, Timaru 11, Y Row 3, Columba College 2, Nelson 3, Nelson 2, St Andrews College 1, Avonside Girls High School 1. So this is a B final, and good, obviously, experience here for these novice rowers to get plenty of rowing in. It always helps in their development. More time on the water. Let's see if I can pick anything up from the 1,000 metre mark. I've just got the camera there. Race number 219, women novice coxed 4. I can see the umpire boat making their way through. Just coming back to that last race, the very close race. Christchurch Boys High School were 6:29.77 and the St Andrews crew were 6:31.6. And I don't have a separate time for the other crew back off them. So well done. CBHS 6:29.77 and St Andrews was 6:31.60. So just a couple of seconds in it, just slightly less than a couple of seconds. So here they go. They're coming through. They're coming through, and I can see there, yes, there's a nice spread of boats going across. I think I've just got a note coming through. Thank you very much from St Bede's. For later. Okay. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, there's a note there we need to talk about later on, but yes, so that's just a note passed up from St Bede, so we'll talk about that later on, and I'll save that for the under 19 8 final. Right, just coming through here. Women's novice coxed 4. In lane number 7, we've got Nelson. It says Nelson 3, but they're in front of the Nelson 2 crew. Over on the outside there, I can see the oars for St Andrews College. They're trying to get back up with that Nelson crew. Just inside the Nelson crew there, that looks like that's Columba College. Lovely view there on the screens, looking down across the lawn and the dais with all the tents resplendent in their colours and all the crowd. So I hope you've had a great time this weekend. It's been great to see all the camper vans down the other end as well. I think that's a knock-on effect from last year's COVID. There was certainly a lot of people going out and buying caravans and motorhomes, and they've obviously kept them and they're bringing them down and utilising them for the rowing, which is great to see. And obviously they look quite a sight going down there, pretty much all the way down to the coach's corner, 1,000-metre mark there. They're not, I think they're pretty much going down there. But let's pick this race up, and then we can pick up the Women's Novice Coxed A final. But as we have at the moment, it is indeed the Nelson crew who've got their noses in front over St Andrews. But St Andrews are still in the mix here. They're absolutely in the mix. The St Andrews College crew are trying to put it back on to this Nelson crew, but Nelson have got a boat length. Looking inside there, they're also, that is Columba College there in lane number 6. Then on the inside here, also coming into the frame, Cashmere High School. Cashmere are making it a battle with Columba College and St Andrews College. So, who else is getting involved? Oh yes, it's Wairo are also in the mix. So we do have a leading crew in lane 7, which is Nelson. I think we can call that now. Nelson have got a bit of clear water, but not too much. Columba College have come through into second. Cashmere are battling with them for second and third. St Andrews have just dropped off, and they've been eaten up by Columba College and also Cashmere. Wairo are coming into the mix as well, but still Nelson are going through. Their lead is cutting down. Cashmere down on this inside have got over the top of Columba, and they're starting to eat a seat, but I think they've left it too late. Cashmere are coming through. They're going to take second. Columba are going to take third. Wow, there we go. Nelson take the win. Very close on second and third, but I'm calling it for Cashmere over Columba, and then Wairo over St Andrews. Then down on the inside, we have another St Andrews crew going over the line before we have another Nelson crew, and over on the far side, Avonside Girls. That is the B final. Whew. I'll just look to see if I can give you some times on that when they come through on Rowett. But that was a really good finish there. And I have to say that the Cashmere crew were quite a way back, and they just, in that last 500, did so well. That's the crew of Rose, Millie, Annabelle, Ava, and Charlotte Clapworthy coxing there. They didn't manage to run them down, the Nelson crew of Padre, Marie, Freya, Zoe, and Liana Haywood. But I tell you what, they got pretty close. So they'll be looking forward to their next regatta and looking to try and get it over that crew. We've got the Women's Novice Coxed A final, race 220. Just got a short spell for this one today. I'm just through to 12:45, I think, maybe 1 o'clock. But then Ian's back on, and then obviously we're going to run through to the end of the day with Millsy, our lead umpire. And here we go. This is Invercargill 1, Wairo 2, Wairo 1, Christchurch Girls High School 1, Rangiruru Girls School 1, Columba College 3, Nelson 1, Ashburton 1, St Margaret's College 1, and Columba College 1. So I'll see if I can pick anything up on the screen. They've gone through the 1,000. They're making their way down to that 1250. And the yellow caps of Rangi have got in front. Rangi have got in front of that Christchurch Girls High School crew. But outside of them is the Nelson crew, and they are leading. It's the Nelson crew coming down. They've both gone away from Columba College 3. Further out, Columba College and St Margaret's have dropped away, as have, looks like a Wakatipu boat out there. Apologies, Ashburton boat out there. They've dropped away slightly, but it is Nelson. The Nelson crew, the bow seat looks across, looking at Rangi. Rangi are in the mix, and they are dragging Christchurch Girls High School with them. They look to be sitting in third place, but down on the inside, Wairo are coming along and wanting to get involved. Nelson trying to defend it, but it's all a bit close. Can't quite see the number on the Rangi boat as it's leaning over. Maybe it's got knocked or something at some point, but it's the yellow caps of Rangiruru, that wonderful yellow, white and blue boat is charging down. They've got their noses in front over this Nelson crew. So Nelson are sitting in second spot. They're coming under pressure now from that Christchurch Girls High School crew, who are sitting in third. Wairau down on the inside. Lane number 3 are sitting in fourth, but trying to put Christchurch Girls High under pressure. But it is Rangi. Women's Novice Cox 4. It is Rangi. Lane number 5, who are going to take this out over lane 7, Nelson. So Rangiruru Girls School are coming down. They've got maybe 30 metres to go. Nelson have held on to second spot. Rangi coming down. Third place is going to go to Christchurch Girls High School. And fourth is going to be Wairau as we come over the line. Now, there we go. Rangi take the win. Nelson takes second. Christchurch Girls High School take third. Wairau take fourth. Fifth place is going to go to Columba College. Then over the far side, looks like Ashburton are just going to hold on over this. Oh, no, they're not actually. The second Wairau crew are going to come over the line. Oh, they've just... Ashburton just got out of sync there. Just got out of sync and gave a place away, but that's okay. St. Margaret's coming over the line. Invercargill down on the inside are going to finish just behind the second St. Columba College crew. That's the Women's Novice Coxed 4. Men's Intermediate Double Schools B final. Men's Intermediate Double Schools B final, followed by the Men's Intermediate Double Schools A final. Race number 221 and 222. So let's see who we have racing here. We have North End 1, Wairau 22, Wakatipu, Shirley Boys High School 1, Nelson 1, Oamaru 2, Union 1, Timaru 41, Ashburton 3, Kashmir High School 1. The time of that last race, the Women's Novice Coxed 4, Nelson over the line in 8:33, Kashmir over the line in 8:36. I've just got an update coming through there. What is that? That's Rangiruru came through at 7:55, Nelson through at 7:59, and Christchurch Girls High School through in 8:01. Wairau came through at 8:04. That was the Women's Novice Coxed 4. The last race there. And so this one, we picked this one up now as they've gone through the 1,000, gone through the 1,500, or just coming through the 1,500, the back markers of this field. Let's see who we've got, and it appears to be a Wakatipu, or Whakatipu, but I'll call it Wakatipu until someone tells me otherwise. And it's looking like Shirley Boys High School. Liam Wilson and Tom Hearn are having a great race with the Wakatipu crew of Harry McNay and Harry Lightfoot. So it's the two Harrys are battling Liam and Tom from Wakatipu. Let me just check outside. There's another Ashburton crew out there who are having a good race with Kashmir. Down on the inside, trying to get involved, way down on the inside here is the North End crew of Rain Mackenzie and Charlie Melville. They're going to have a big finish to get up into third, but I think they've got a chance of that. Wakatipu in lane number 3 have got half a boat length, 3/4 of a boat length over the Shirley Boys High School crew. Quick look across from Shirley Boys High, making sure North End are trying to get involved for third, but they'll be battling with the Ashburton crew. Let's have a look at this Ashburton crew. There is that carrot. Yes, they're in a carrot boat. Love those carrot boats. Ashburton 3, Charlie Howden and Travis Amos are trying to hold on to third, but it is Wakatipu are nearly a boat length. They've just stretched, just kept stretching, nearly a boat length as they're coming down. Harry and Harry are going to take this in lane number 3 for Wakatipu. There they go, they take it. Second place, Shirley Boys High School. Third place is, and they've actually stopped rowing early, was the North End crew. So maybe a quick word to North End 1 to not stop rowing quite so early, but I think they got over the line over Ashburton. And there's a raft of boats coming over now. There they all go, well done. That was the B final. We're now looking for the men's intermediate double sculls A final. So the A final is Ashburton 2, which is Ashton Brook and Geordie McKillen. Avon 2 is Cameron Ferguson and Jack Donaldson. Waihopai 1 is Declan Crombie and Ryan Smith. Cure Boating Club 3 is Matthew Baldwin and Jacob Wadley. Oamaru 1 is Nye Jones Hogan and Patrick Don't Call Me a Detective Spillane. Ashburton 1 is Isaac Carr and Tim Connolly White. Wanaka 1 is Torben Craig and Anton Jones. Wakatipu 1, Sebastian Watson and Toby Karegia. Avon 1 is Ben Chu and Joshua Larson. Wairo 21 is Ashton Underwood and Oliver Watts. So we've got a nice race developing here. As I pick them up, let's see if I can get anything on the screen. No, I've just got a beautiful view of the lawn. Oh, it's changing. Here they come through. Coming through the 1500. And we've got one boat out in front. They've got about a quarter of a boat length. And then there is a pack of 4 chasing them down. This is great to see. This is going to be a good race. If I'm not mistaken, that looks like the Cure Boating Club. Matthew Baldwin and Jacob Wadley in lane number 4. Lane number 4. Outside of them, we've got the Bill and Ben Flowerpot Men Hat of Ashburton, and they're in a great race with Wakatipu. And in between them is the Wanaka crew, Ashburton, Wanaka, Wakatipu. Just back from them in the yellow with the black cross is Oamaru, Nye Jones Hogan and Patrick Spillane. But it is the Cure Boating Club crew in lane number 4, Matthew Baldwin and Jacob Wadley. They're going to bring this home. The men's intermediate double sculls. There's a good race over the far side. Wakatipu look back across at Ashburton. Ashburton are sitting in second place, but they're coming under pressure from the Wakatipu crew out on the outside. That's Sebastian Watson and Toby Trigadia. Ashburton have got into second, but it's the leaders are going to be Cure Boating Club. Purple Haze, I referred to named earlier on, which obviously is a wonderful reference to Jimi Hendrix. Lane number 4, they come down there going over the line. They're going to take the win. Well done. Second place, Ashburton. Ashburton takes second. Wakatipu are just holding on to third from a very fast charging Oamaru. And then we come back to Wanaka. Down on the inside, we have lane number 3, which is Waihopai. And then there's another Ashburton crew coming over the line, and over the side, Avon and Wairau. So well done to Cure Boating Club. Matthew Baldwin, Jacob Wadley, over the Ashburton crew there. Race number 223, Men's Premier. Oh, and they're well down the way. Let me quickly get this. This is Men's Premier Coxless Quadruple Schools. Avon 2, Avon 1, Dunstan on 1, Wairau Composite and Canterbury. Some good names in this. Let's see who we've got happening, who's driving. Probably no surprise there. It's the Dunstan Arm crew, lane number 5. Avon on the inside of them. That's Connor, Henry, William and Sam are just trying to chase down Angus, Harry, Jack and Henry. The Composite crew are battling with Canterbury on the outside, and the Avon crew Avon 1, Avon 2 are just slightly further back. That's Josh, Sam, Lachlan and Lawrence. But as we come down, they're hitting the yellow buoys. It is the Dunstan Arm crew in lane 5 who've got a lead at the moment over the composite crew in lane 6. Avon have upped the rating. You can see their quicker hand speed there. They're trying to get into their work and really get into that second spot. But Dunstan Arm are a comfortable boat length. Avon have done some good work there and they've pulled it back neck and neck. Can the composite crew answer? Avon to keep putting it in. A quick look across from the bow seat there. He knows they're in the game. He knows they're in the game. They've gone away from the Canterbury crew on the far outside, but it is Dunstan Arm who are going to take it. It's neck and neck for this. They're changing position with each stroke. I'm calling it that Avon have just got in front, but it was neck and neck with that composite crew. Too close to call. Then we have Canterbury coming over the line, and then there's the second Avon crew coming over now. So I'll be looking forward to that. The time we had, by the way, for the Cure men's intermediate double sculls was 7:13. Second place was Ashburton in 7:17, and then with Wakatipu coming in there with 7:20, and then Oamaru 7:21. So that was a good race, that men's intermediate double sculls, and well done there to the men's Premier Coxless quadruple sculls. Men's under 19 quadruple sculls now. This is men's under 19 final, race 224. Burnside High School 1, Christchurch Boys High School 1, Kashmir High School 1, Wakatipu 1, Christ College 1, Shirley Boys High School 1, and Otago Boys High 1. Can we please remember to collect your medals, all those crews? We do need to make sure we get the medals collected on the way through and not a big splurge of them at the end. As I come to the camera, they're about to get up to the 1,000 metre mark. So men's under 19, Cox quadruple sculls. Wakatipu battling with Kashmir and Shirley Boys High on the outside. Look like they're holding a third place. They're over the top of the Christ College 1 crew. So there's a couple of crews who've dropped away. Let's see who they are. Oh yeah, over on the far side there, that's Otago Boys. And also down on the inside we've got Burnside and Christchurch Boys High. That's Christchurch Boys High. But so at the pointy end of the field we've got Kashmir battling with Wakatipu. Too close to call here. Kashmir just got a bow ball in front. But as we know, these Wakatipu crews have a big finish. Let's have a look. Kashmir High School, Jimmy Middleditch, James Martin, Sam Cleland, Oscar Clatworthy, coxed by Hazel Brown, Wakatipu, Toby Rorison, Xavier Small, Marley King-Smith, Ashton White, and coxed by Emily Howick. As they come down, it is neck and neck. This is the race of the day. Get a look across there. Give them a support. There's a big Wakatipu finish. Kashmir are going with them. It's neck and neck. Nothing to call. Right down there. Who's got their noses in front? I'm leaning out the window now. Kashmir changing. In the lead. Behind. The lead. Behind. Oh! It's going to come down to who puts the last stroke on. That was one of those races where the lead was changing with each stroke from each crew. Fantastic. We can say Shirley are going to come through third, followed by Christ College. And I'm going to be watching that on Rowett to see if I can give you a time. And not only a time, but also who won it. I can't tell you who won that between those two crews. Fantastic, Kashmir and Wakatipu. Put a big question mark by that. But we can say Shirley Boys came in third. Whew, we've got the women's Premier double sculls coming down. But I'm just going to stay with this one for the time being, just to see if it comes through on Rowett. We've only got two crews in the women's Premier double sculls. Otago Uni 1 and Avon 1. We've got Juliet and Phoebe battling Jessica and Marcella. Ian's making his way in now. I'm just going to... Actually, this probably will be a good time to pass over. I'll just bring this race through as it comes through. But I'm just wanting to wait through for Rowett to update itself. And he's actually running away now to get his glasses, which definitely provided some interesting commentary in the last stint. Obviously, you'll appreciate that all commentators are colourblind. But anyway, let's have a look if this race is going to... This Rowett is going to update for me. If not, we'll just stay with the Otago Uni crew of Juliet and Phoebe, who have coming down in really quite a comfortable victory in this women's Premier double sculls final. So I don't think there's going to be any challenge there now. It's still checking. No, don't have an updated time yet for that last race, because it was absolutely a belter. Did you see that, Ian, that last race?
Absolutely.
Oh, one of those races where it's changed all the way through. But anyway, in this women's Premier double sculls final, Otago Uni, Juliet and Phoebe are going to take a very comfortable victory over the Avon crew of Jessica and Marcella. So... So just coming over line now is the women's Premier double sculls from Otago Uni. They're going to take the gold there, and then they'll be followed down the track by the Avon 1 crew. So well done to those two crews. I'll be handing over in a second now to Ian. I'll just turn this off a second.
Thank you, Clive. Women's double or senior double sculls, race 226 coming down the track. They have got less than 1,000 metres to run. In lane 1, Avon 2, Katie Bell and Eliza Roxburgh Judd. In lane 2, Avon 1, Alia O'Sullivan and Tori Cox. In lane 3, Canterbury 1, Tasman O'Sullivan and Becky Chuk. In lane 4, Otago University 1, which is Eva Hoffmans and Greta Hawke. In lane 5, Dunstan Arm 1, Charlotte Lightfoot and Sila Ron. In lane 6, Whakatipu 1, Olivia Key and Nee Bates. In lane 7, Nelson 1, Madeline Collis and Lucy Munro. In lane 8, Timaru 11, Paige Butler Beard and Elsie Talbot. In lane 9, Columba College 1, Millie Scott and Charlie Sinclair. And in lane 10, it's Otago Girls 1, Isla Merriman and Harriet Thompson. And it's all coming out of lane 5, which is Dunstan Arms, Charlotte Lightfoot and Sila Rung. So they're away there leading from a Whakatipu 1 out there in lane 6 alongside them. Then we'd come back inside to lane 2, Avon 1, Alia O'Sullivan and Tori Cox. So this is the final of the women's senior double sculls. Just waiting for time to come up for the previous race, but it'll get there. So we can see Dunstan out there in the familiar colours of the green and yellow and the blue. Alongside them, Whakatipu in their familiar yellow hull. And just watching down here in lane, she looks like lane number 3. It is lane 3, is Canterbury 1, Tasman O'Sullivan and Becky Chook there or thereabouts, but they're all going to have to go pretty well from here to take over the Dunstan crew. So we're looking at the minor medals, you'd have to say, from here, which it looks like it's going to be between Whakatipu, Canterbury, Avon. Then we'll go right across on the outside to Columba College, Millie Scott and Charlie Sinclair out there in lane 9, making a run of things out in the outer lane. Just outside of them, you've got Otago Girls inside back to Paige Butler-Beard and Elsie Talbot from Timaru under Craighead's banner. But it is with 150 metres there, through the 250 into 150 metres to go. Well, you're well clear. 3 boat lengths through that 250 it is. Then Whakatipu. Then we go to Canterbury. Then we go to Columba. Then it's Avon. Oh, it's tight for the minor medals. But look at this. Nice row here from the Dunstan crew. Another crew coached by Simon Smith, Charlotte Lightfoot and Sila Rung. So Charlotte Lightfoot, who rode last year for Picton, won the under-18 single down here at Marty Cup. And look at she's just kicked on now, taking away with Dunstan. 100 metres to go. She comes down now, looking nice and easy is this pair of double sculls from Dunstan. They'll be working hard, but they make it look easy. Clean blade work, nice clean at the catch, clean drive right through, nice tidy finish, then away they go again. Whakatipu now moving into second over Canterbury, so Whakatipu will take silver as they stand. A push coming on the outside from Columba from Millie Scott and Charlie Sinclair to take third over from Canterbury. It looks like they might have done that. It'll be back inside to Avon. It's going to be first to Dunstan. Well done. Congratulations, ladies, taking the gold. The silver's going to go to Whakatipu in the middle of the course in lane 6, and it is Columba who have made sure of the bronze on the outside, just finishing in front of Canterbury. Then we go back to Timaru, into Avon. Back inside we go to Otago Uni, out to Nelson, then again to Otago Girls High School, and back inside to Avon number 2. Women's Premier Double Sculls. Phoebe Trilove has gone through in 7:33 with Jackie Lacroix, and they were 8:04 back to the second crew. Men's Club coxless pair heading towards the 1,000 metre mark. Lane 1, Invercargill 1, Brendan Isles, Ari Renner. In lane 2, Nelson 1, Jackson Taylor and Ethan Steele. In lane 3, Avon 1, Jack Bell and Jonty Thompson. In lane 4, Avon 2, William Anderson and George Higgins. In lane 5, from Cure, Lewis Mates and George Johnson. In lane 6, from Wairo 21, Zachary Jenkins and Dylan Locke. In lane 7, Oamaru 1, Cody Marshall and Zeke Goodsir. In lane 8, Wairo 22, Shane Henry and George Lindstrom. In lane 9, Canterbury 1, Scott McDermott. And in lane 10, it's Otago 11, Jonathan Browning and Sebastian Hattrell. Cure doing well out there in lane 5. Should go with the lanes. We'll go across 2 to Oamaru 21. And right in the middle of them, Wairo 21 there, coached by Ethan Elderly. Talking to Ethan early on, looking forward to this race. Back inside from Cure will be Avon 2. So it's still with Cure, then Wairo, then Oamaru, then we go inside to Avon. Those are the 4. Then we come back inside to Avon 1, Nelson 1. Just ahead of them on the inside lane is Invercargill 1. Then we go outside to Canterbury 1 and Otago 11. So we've got a time back for the women's senior double sculls. And the double scullers from Dunstan going through for the gold medal in 7:33. Second with the silver medal, Whakatipu 7:44. And Columba picking up the bronze 7:46. So short shifts this afternoon for the commentary team. We are of an age. We are backing up in the afternoon. Does take a little bit more effort than what we could in the morning. So a little short, sharp shifts. And then the commentary team captain, Russell Mills, will be taking us through to the end of today and those 8s as they hone on down the course later on. Last race due to go just before 2:20, I think. So to the rowers who have been fortunate enough to pick up some silverware and some medals, please get yourselves into the lounge and pick up those medals. Last race at 2:22. It'll keep Richie Benno happy, wouldn't it? As we look on the outside here now, we see the men's coxless pairs making their way down and doing a good job still, and starting to extend is Lewis Mates and George Johnson. So George originally out of Shirley Boys High School, going past the Shirley Boys supporters now. 2 boat lengths ahead of Avon they are. Outside to Wairo. Wairo now looking for a third. If they can hang in there, they're just going to have to watch though. Avon 1 down in lane 3, pushing through and putting pressure, and they've probably gone through on the Wairo crew. So Avon will have their eyes on the other Avon crew. So Avon will be looking to make it second and third because they've got some work to do to pull back Cure. They can. Still plenty of running to go as they head up past 250 metres. Outside of Cure still is Wairo. Then we have Awamaru, Cody and Zeke. Then there's a bit of daylight back to the other crews, being Canterbury, Otago, and back into Nelson, Invercargill. Immediately after this, we have got the men's under-19 coxless pairs. Those 3 crews are out there. St Andrews College 1, Kobe Good and Cameron Scott. Lane 5, St Bede's College 3, Matthew Glenn, Luke Hickling. Lane 6, St Bede's College 1, Thomas Woodgate and Sam Woodgate. But look at this from the Cure crew. Cure picking up a bag of medals today already. There's a couple where they have one after each other. They're doing very good coming down here. Nicely stroked on the bow side there by George Johnson. 50 metres to go. They've got a 2 boat length lead, and they'll be pretty wrapped with this. The men's club coxless pair, Meridian South Island Rowing Championships. Gentlemen, you guys have picked yourselves up a gold medal. Congratulations. First to Cure Boating Club. Second will be to Avon number 2 down there in lane 4, William and George. Third will go on the outside to Wairo, Zach and Dylan. Fourth then is Avon number 1. We go outside again to 5th to Awamaru, and then we go to Canterbury, Invercargill, Nelson and Otago. Just out of interest, you may notice 1 or 2 results through Rowett will have changed from what was announced at the time, and you'll just have to pick up which ones exactly they are. And this will be news for some people who haven't been to a regatta before, is that you'll notice that as the finishers have been crossing the line, some of the judges have been pulling random crews out to have their boats weighed, and there are some rules and stipulations around the weight of a boat, and they must be of a certain weight. And today there have been 1 or 2 boats that have been found on weighing to be underweight, and what happens in that situation in rowing is you get disqualified. So they only find that out when they get the boats weighed, and all the crews had the opportunity to weigh their to weigh their boats? To weigh their boats yesterday. Put your teeth in. Anyway, back to the rowing. St Bede's College 3 in the middle of the course in lane 5. Look at this from Matthew Glenn and Luke Hickling. They won the under-17 pair at Marty last year, and you can see why. This pair is well used to rowing with each other. This is a fantastic effort from them. There will be 6 boat lengths in front of St Andrews College, Kobe Good and Cameron Scott. And then their second crew, St Bede's. So St Bede's College 1, Thomas and Sam, the Woodgates, will be looking to put pressure on St Andrews to pick up a silver. None of them are going to get past Matthew and Luke, though. Great row here from these 2 gentlemen. Coming up to the Red Boys. Very good quality pairs rowing from these 2. 100 metres to go past the ducks, or between the ducks. And they'll be heading on down as we start to get a slight ripple across the water. These 2 gentlemen rowing in the pair, as are Sam and Thomas from St Bede's. Across the line they go. Canterbury champions, men's under-19 coxless pair, goes to St Bede's College number 3. Congratulations. Silver medal will go to St Andrews College number 1, Kobe and Cameron. And across on the outside, finishing third, will be St Bede's College number 1, Thomas and Sam. Race 229 is through 500 metres. That's the Women's Club Coxless 4. Final. We've got 5 crews in there. In lane 3, it's Avon 2. Grace Hogan, Beth Dunbar, Brielle Pearson and Emily Lattimore. In lane 4, Cure Boating Club 1, Alexandra Bidwell, Abby Jenkins-McCaw, Claire McGregor, Lauren Sims. Some of those ladies have had a full card of races today. In lane 5, Avon 1, Sophie Jackson, Brian Moriarty, Claire Martin, Felicity Pye. In lane 6, it's St Margaret's College 1, Coco Flood and Amy Leeson, Belize Macquarie, Ava Redman. In lane 7, Canterbury 1, Libby Greaves, Georgia Callow, Hannah Brown, Ash Fleming. As they head through to the 1,000 metre mark, it's coming out of Avon number 1. Avon number 1 over St Margaret's. Very little between those 2 crews. Back inside to Cure Boating Club. That's the 3. Right alongside, actually might be Avon 2 down there in lane 3. Very little between them. We can see on the live stream for those of you that are watching all around the world. and the rest of New Zealand. Rose 230, the girls under 17 Cox 4 final. They're sitting there, and there is not a full field. So we're expecting to see Villa Maria, Wairo, Christchurch girls, Rangiruru girls, Wairo, Christchurch girls, and Columba. Just giving you time for the men's under 19 coxless pair, Luke and Matthew going through from St Bees in 6:52. St Andrews silver 7:14, bronze to St Bees in 7:20. So St Margaret's doing well now. They've done a nice piece in the last couple of 100 metres. And leading the field now, they are in lane 6 for St Margaret's over Avon. Avon and St Margaret's now starting to move ahead. Avon in second position and bringing Cure with them. And beyond that, on the outer flanks, Avon 2, Canterbury number 1. So that race, 230 girls under 17 coxed 4, looks like it's underway. So there will be looks like we've had a scratching in there, so we'll pick them up as they come through. It looks like it's one of the crews in the middle of the course, so we'll get to grips with that as they make their way down. So they're running ahead of time now. That was due to go at 12:58, and it's already on the course. So fantastic effort by Justin Wall and his team down in the starting box, running at 4-minute intervals to get these races through. Yesterday we had 147 races, which is about as many as they can do in a normal day here. Today we've got 105 A and B finals. As we whittle down what has started with around 1,400 competitors down to the silverware, and we can see out there it is a battle royale, but as Clive would say, between St Margaret's and Avon. St Margaret's, Coco, Ain, Belize and Ava against Avon, Sophie, Briar, Claire and Felicity. Just outside of them, we boy back now is Canterbury, so it's going to come from Avon, just pushed again. Avon have moved out in front now of St Margaret's. So St Margaret's, what have you got to come there? It's a club coxless 4. They'll be foot steering in the stroke, so there's no cox sitting there driving them for them, so there's a bit more for the stroke to focus on. So it's all between St Margaret's and Avon. Then we go back to Cure, across to Canterbury, back inside to Avon. So it looks like in the girls under 17 Cox 4, that Wairo may not have made the start for some reason. So Rangiruru leading that. Just inside of them is Christchurch Girls High School number 2. On the outside, Christchurch Girls High School number 1. Then back inside to Wairo 2. Further out on the outside then to Villa Maria. And in lane 8, Columba College. So it looks like Wairo 1 may have been scratched from the girls under 17 Coxed 4 final. However, out here we have the Women's Club Coxless 4 heading into the last 150 metres, and Avon have just pushed further ahead of St Margaret's. So Avon taking a care of business here. They're a boat length in front of St Margaret's. St Margaret's now starting to be put under pressure from Cure. Cure will be thinking, I don't know if they'll be able to see out of the corner of their peripheral vision. More of a push they might get through. 100 metres to go now for Avon, 100 metres to go for St Margaret's, and they've got, will be 2 boat lengths now over Cure. So it looks like this is how they will finish for the Women's Club Coxless 4 final here at the Meridian South Island Rowing Championships for 2023. St Margaret's starting to close the gap down on Avon and stick down to 3 seats, but there won't be enough left in the course for them to overtake completely. Over they go and take the gold medal to Avon. St Margaret's silver, and then the bronze in third will be Cure Boating Club. Another medal for Cure today. Avon to finish out the field along with Canterbury. Girls under 17, Cox 4. So Rangiruru leading down in lane 3. Wairo have started to push through alongside on Christchurch Girls High. So they were a bit further back at the 1,000 were Wairo. Now they're starting to make up some ground, but it's very much Rangiruru, Christchurch Girls, Wairo, Christchurch Girls, out to Columba, back inside to Villa Maria. After this, we are moving into the boys under 17 single sculls, the B and the A final. So times in for the Women's Club Coxless 4, won by Avon in a time of 7:19.07 for the gold medal. Silver medal in the Women's Club Coxless 4 went to St Margaret 7:21 and Cure 7:26, taking out the bronze. See on our screens the B final for, actually the A final for the boys under 17 single sculls just going into the blocks. The B final is on the course. B final there in lane 1, Wanaka 1, Philip Massey. In lane 2, St Andrews College 1, Benjamin Bolton. In lane 3, Twizel, Luca Mains Upston. In lane 4, St Thomas's of Canterbury 1, Michael Zhang. In lane 5, Christchurch Boys High School 1, Matthew Dennis. In lane 6, Twizel 1, Ralph Henderson. In lane 7, Shirley Boys High School 1, Flynn Hutchison Ray. In lane 8, Otago Boys High School 1, Jed Tisdall. In lane 9, Shirley Boys High School 2, Ollie Eden. And completing the field there in lane 10 will be St Bede's College 1, Harrison Staples. But look at this lead now from Rangiruru. They've done a piece in the last 200 metres and now 3 boat lengths ahead of Christchurch Girls High School number 2, who are in second. Right alongside them, though, is Wairo. So Wairo will be looking to put pressure on them, see if they can pick up the silver medal if things stand as they are. So it'll be a nice finish between those. Interesting to see the Christchurch Girls High School number 1 crew out there in lane 7 just chasing down their number 2 crew. So these are the 4 where the medals will come from. Just too far back there for Columba College out there in lane 8. And back down right in lane 2 is Villa Maria College number 1. Through the 250 go Rangiruru, a huge lead they've got there now over Christchurch Girls High School number 2. Looks like Christchurch Girls High School are developing a handy lead over Wairo as well, so there'll be 2 boat links back to them. Just a question of whether the Christchurch Girls High School number 1 crew have got anything left in the tank to push up on those 2 crews. As we see the under 17 single sculls B final head towards the 1,000 metre mark. Christchurch Boys High School number 1 Matthew Dennis looks to be leading them down. Just outside of him Twizel, Ralph Henderson. And then Flynn Hutchison Ray from Shirley Boys High School. St Bede's Harrison Staples out there in lane 10, right in the mix. Lonely old time out there in lane 10 in a single scull. You must feel like you're halfway across the salmon farm. Less than 100 metres to go now for Rangiruru. Great row here in the girls under 17 cox 4. Sophie, Millie, Lucy and Georgie. Well coxed by Annabelle Wynne-Williams, the junior cox for New Zealand. They come on now and there they go. They've only got about 4 strokes to go and they'll take out the gold medal as they will here in the girls under 17 cox 4. Well done to Rangiruru. It looks like Christchurch Girls High School number 2 here in lane 4 have got the silver all sewn up. Coming down to the line in lane 4 they will be very shortly. Over they go, and third, and the bronze medal will go to Wairo. So Christchurch Girls High School number 2, Annabelle, Elsie, Kate, Frankie, and then Hazel, Izzy, Ella, and Bella, coxed by Molly, coming over for Wairo. Fourth goes to Christchurch Girls High School number 1. Out we go to Columba and back inside to Villa Maria. So the boys under 17 single sculls B final, well through into the last half of the race they come now. The A final is underway. The boys under 17 A final single sculls. That in lane 1, from Otago 1, Matthew O'Meara. Lane 2, Whakatipu 1, Keegan Green. In lane 3, Timaru 31, Josh Bartlett. In lane 4, Cashmere High School, Jimmy Middleditch, son of Paul, no fingernails left now. Lane 5, Timaru 1, Ben Allen. Lane 6, Timaru 2, Peo O'Sullivan. In lane 7, Otago Boys High School 3, Harrison Thode. In lane 8, Otago 3, Oliver Hamilton. In lane 9, Timaru 31, Blake Parker. In lane 10, Otago 2, Angus Lowe. So they've all off to a fairly even start. I think we've got a full field. I couldn't see any scratchings. It is very even across that field. Just the early noise starting to come from Otago Boys and Otago 3 by the look of it, and Timaru 2. The early days in there, very even. Cashmere in the mix and Timaru 1, but looking at the B final, as they head through 750 metres. Good row coming in there from Flynn Hutchison Ray from Shirley Boys as he gears himself up to go past those Shirley Boys supporters. Otago Boys High, Jed Tisdale right next to him. Good row coming from Harrison Staples out there in lane 10 from St Bede's. So those 3 lining themselves up. They will look down there in lane 1. Philip Massey from Wanaka not out of it either. Then you'd come across to St Thomas's of Canterbury, Twizel. Been a big day for Twizel rowing. Big smile across Chief Umpire Nessie's face when we ran into her before. Otago Boys High School doing well out there. So lane 7. Between lane 7 and lane 8. Shirley Boys, Otago Boys and St Bees. Those are the 3. So the challenge for Flynn from Shirley will be to keep out the fast-moving Wanaka rower down there in lane 1, Philip Massey. Still very even in that A final as it goes through their first 500, heading towards 1,000. Starting to move out of the middle it is. It looks like Jimmy Middleditch out there in lane 3, then Timaru in lane 5, Timaru in lane 6. And Otago Boys in lane 7. That's where it looks to me at the moment. 4, 5, 6 and 7 starting to emerge out of the pack, as you would expect with the arrow formation based on times. So these 3 doing a great job out here in the B final of the boys under 17 single sculls. Harrison Staples from St Bees way out there in lane 10. It's Hard Yacker out there. He looks across. He can see from Otago Boys Jed Tisdall. They can see Flynn, Hutchison, Ray all looking at each other. Still pushing through here in lane 1 is Philip Massey from Wanaka. He's done a good job. Then it would be out there to St Thomas's, Christchurch Boys High School. They'll be next. Then we go to Twizel, 1 and 2. Either side of the St Thomas's sculler. Then out we go to some Shirley Boys number 2, but down they come to the line, and the advantage goes with the Otago Boys. Jed Tisdall's just pulled away. He'll take a boat length lead over Flynn Hutchison, who'll finish second. Half a boat length back to Harrison Stables from St Bees. Fourth, and a nice finish for him from Wanaka. Then we go to Twizel number 1, Ralph Henderson. Back to St Thomas's, Luca from Twizel number 2. Actually, my apologies. That was actually Christchurch Boys High finishing first ahead there in lane 5. He's finished 4th, 5th. Then we go back to the Twizel Scullers and out to Shirley Boys High School number 2. Then inside we come to St Andrews College. So looking back at the all-important A final for the boys under 17 single sculls here at the Canterbury Championships. And it is at the moment with Timaru 1, Ben Allen. He's got the lead from Jimmy Middleditch back there from Cashmere High School in lane 4. We come across to Whakatipu in lane 2. Timaru, as you not know, Timaru 30 would be third. Timaru 30 would be third in lane 3. Then we're going to go across to Otago Boys High School, I think. Tis Otago Boys High School. Harrison Thode. So it's lining up now between Timaru, Cashmere, Timaru, Otago Boys. Heading towards the 500 metres to go. This is the boys under 17 single sculls. A little bit of a breeze starting to get up now. Ben Allen from Timaru, though, has the advantage. Ben Allen probably 3/4 of a boat length over Jimmy Middleditch. Outside Jimmy Middleditch is Timaru 30. So Cashmere getting squeezed by the 2 Timaru scullers. Then we go 2 lanes across to Otago Boys. Over on the outside, then we go to Timaru 31. Back inside to another Timaru crew, Timaru number 2. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Timaru scullers in this race from various schools, but it's work to be done here for Jimmy Middleditch. He's second at the moment from a good sculling there in lane 5 from Ben Allen from Timaru, who's got the advantage. And then Timaru 30, Josh Bartlett in lane 3. It's going to be a tight finish between these scullers. Who's going to go first? They're all starting to come together. The work's been done by Ben Allen and Timaru. Can he hold them off? What's Jimmy Middleditch got on his left-hand side? He's got Josh Bartlett from Timaru 30. These 3 starting to move away. Otago Boys High School on the outside. They come with 120 metres to go. Ben Allen's gone again. He's just upped his rating. Can Jimmy go with him? They're starting to work hard. The Timaru sculler on the outside's moving as well. They're all starting to, those second and third are closing right up. A small advantage of a boat length by Ben Allen from Timaru on the outside. Now Jimmy's gone. Jimmy's starting to push up on him. Has he left it too late? He's running second. Timaru on the outside. So we've got Ben, Jimmy, Josh pushing up on Paul Middleton's boy Jimmy. And then we come, Ben Allen's going to go across though. I think the Timaru Skull on the outside's got half a boat length. Ben Allen from Timaru, Jimmy Middleditch second. Third goes to the Timaru Skull of Josh Bartlett. Then we go on the outside to Harrison Thoe from Otago Boys High School. Back inside to Peo O'Sullivan from Timaru number 2. Back over to Blake Parker from Timaru number 31. Outside of him, Otago 2, Angus Lowe. Then we come back down here into lane 2, Whakatipu 1, Keegan Green. And then that will just about complete the field with Matthew O'Meara down here in lane 1. And then right out there into lane number 8 is Oliver Hamilton. So congratulations to Timaru, Ben Allen, taking out the boys under 17 single sculls. Great finish there. The girls under 15 coxed 8 are on their way down the course. They've gone through 500 metres. In lane 3, St Andrews College 1, Xanthi Ward, Alana Brooke, Chloe Lowe, Carly McNee, Charlotte Galvin, Emily Woodgate, Chloe McDonald, Sayo Hitchcock, Thomas Ormsby, the Cox. In lane 4, Christchurch Girls High School 1, Molly Seaver, Charlotte Wright, Emerson Lowe, Laura Ryle, Paige Hickey, Cassidy Marwick, Katie Veronese, Lily Fan, Poppy Galvin is the coach Cox. In lane 5, Rangiruru Girls School 1, Sophia Harris, Lila Hay, Amelia Wilkie, Tyler Gilbert, Tallulah Nelson, Harriet Abbott, Georgie Stalker, Alice Duffy with Liv Barnett, the Cox. In lane 6, it's St Margaret's College 1, Phoebe James, Leona Kamahurangi, and Lucy Butterfield with Jaslyn Young, Anna Aradis, Tilly O'Donnell, Charlotte Brown, Anna Rutherford and Ashley Tark on the Cox. And in lane 7, Nelson 1, Zoe Dunstan, Margot Callahan, Aurora Fleming, Isla Martin, Francesca Palmer, Greer Robertson, Juno O'Connor, Ciara Reynolds and Maddie Taylor is the Cox in that particular race. You can see Rangiruru leading those crews down, either side of them, Christchurch Girls High School and St Margaret's. That is the arrow heading down. That's 1, 2 and 3. Just waiting for a time for the boys under 17 single sculls A final. The B final, Jed Tisdall winning that from Otago Boys in a time of 7:52 from 7:54 for Flynn Hutchison Ray was his time. Harrison Staples 7:55. So doing it very comfortably is Rangiruru Girls School number 1 and the girls under 15 coxed 8 final. There's the time through for the boys under 17 single sculls. First, Ben Allen, gold medal from Timaru, time is 7:31. Second, silver medal, Jimmy Middleditch from Kashmir, time is 7:32. And bronze medal to young Mr. Bartlett from Timaru, and a time of 7:34. So following the girls under 15 coxed 8, we move into the women's intermediate double sculls. We've got a B and an A final. Then we get into the men's novice coxed 8. Just a reminder to all crews who have been successful, go and pick up your medals, please. Please don't leave it to the end. The volunteers have got places to be and people to see, so they'd like to get away from you as soon as they can. So just the sooner you go and get the medals, the easier it is for those particular teams. Look at this out there. Probably 4 boat lengths now. We got Rangiruru, Sophia, Lila, Amelia, Tyler, Tallulah, Harriet, Georgie, Alice. Liv is coxing them down the course. Second at the moment is St Margaret's College. Then we go to Christchurch Girls High School. Those are the 1, 2 and 3 as they head down. Underway and through the first 250 metres is the women's intermediate double sculls. In lane 1 for the B final, Union 1, Rose Thompson, Ella McNabb. In lane 2, Avonside Girls High School 1, Anika Johnson and Sarah Webley. In lane 3, Nelson 1, Charlie Murfin and Cassie Imar. In lane 4, Kashmir High School 1, Thea Murdy and Eliza Omar. In lane 5, Ashburton 2, Ruby Leverton, Isla Connolly White. In lane 6, North End 1, Liesl Tolson and Sienna Hoare. In lane 7, Wanaka 2, Kate Ritchie, Lola Ritchie. In lane 8, Avon 2, Courtney Preble and Olivia Norton. In lane 9, Cromwell 2, Lilani Jones and Tori Sargison. And out there in lane 10, Georgia Butler and Charlotte Connolly from Timaru. 100 metres to go. Lovely exhibition of under 15 sweeping from this coxed 8 from Rangiruru. Congratulations, ladies. That is an outstanding race. You're going to win this by 5 boat lengths just about over the St Margaret's crew, who have another 2 to 3 boat lengths back to Christchurch Girls. Down they come, nice and easy, well drilled. Well, congratulations to the Rangiuru coaching crew. Across they go, take the gold medal. 50 metres to go for St Margaret's to kite over and secure the silver medal. And then following them down will be the other Christchurch crew, Christchurch Girls High School. And it looks like St Andrews will finish fourth, and across the outside to Nelson. So just looking at the fields in the women's intermediate double sculls, there appears to be a couple of scratching. So I think we have got Kashmir not starting, and it looks like Avon 2 not starting. Nelson appear to be leading them down the track. So it's Nelson, Ashburton, North End in the middle of the field. Then just in the outside lanes, we've got Cromwell and Timaru. So although there's some gaps out there, they are fairly even. Back inside Wanaka and North End. So North End in the lead from Nelson, Ashburton in between those two crews. Then we go across to Wanaka, outside to Cromwell, back inside to Avonside Girls and Union, and then across on the outside to Timaru. That's what they look like at the moment. Let those crews come a little bit further down. I'll give you the crews for the A final. That's where we're going to be handing out the medals. So the girls' intermediate double sculls A final, they're underway. In lane 1, Whakatipu 1, Grace Kerneth, Emma Andrew. In lane 2, Marion College 3, Millie Blythe, Tessa Jameson, Timu. In lane 3, Timaru 41, Scout Fiskey and Sahana Ainsley Udemans. In lane 4, North End 2, Esther Whitehouse and Perry Hoare. In lane 5, Wanaka 1, Anika Massey and Annie Wells. In lane 6, Dunstan 1, Faint Died and Neem O'Doherty, rather. That was terrible, Ian. Lane 7, Targo Uni 1, Mania Butler and Hannah Materi. In lane 8, Canterbury 1, Kate Stretton and Hallie Wheeler. In lane number 9, Avon 1, Julia Middleditch and Molly Judson. And in lane 10, it'll be Burnside High School 1, Emily Cadenhead and Charlotte Carey. B final continues to make its way through. 750 metres to go. I'll be just going past the 500, they will be. And it's still North End. North End doing very well out there. Liesel and Sienna. Inside from North End we go back to Ashburton. Then Nelson across to Wanaka. And on the outside it is Cromwell. Cromwell possibly second with Nelson. So North End, Nelson and Cromwell fighting it out for 1, 2 and 3 here. Ashburton starting to poke their head through there. And Wanaka 2. Just having a look at the A final. It's through 500 metres now. Fairly even, and in fact looks like it might be going with the rating, although a bit of a dab going on from Burnside out there in lane 10, but looks very much like at this stage North End, Wanaka, Dunstan, Otago. So out in front of us we have race 234, the women's intermediate double sculls B final, all with North End it would appear. Can Nelson hunt them down? Nelson coming at it from lane 3. Cromwell still there or thereabouts. Just look at Ashburton starting to push through a wee bit there. Perhaps taking Wanaka 2 with them. So just starting to see an emergence in the A final of North End, Wanaka, Dunstan, Otago starting to move out away from the rest of the field. Next would then go to Burnside. then we'd look at Whakatipu, Marion, Avon, not much between those other scullers. Back here in the B final, heading through the last 150 metres. North End have done a good job, but there's a lot of cheering coming for the Nelson crew. Come on, Nelson, can you get yourselves up to run down the North End crew? They've just looked across, have the two Nelson scullers, Charlie and Cassie. They've got 100 metres to do something about it. What are they going to do? The hand speed's gone up. North End have responded though. North End are putting a bit more pressure on the legs, whatever they got left after a long weekend of rowing. Really tiring from this stage, and they've just pushed ahead again. So they'll take out the B final, will North End. Probably 2 boat lengths in the finish ahead of Nelson they will be. Ashburton have pushed through the middle now to move into 3rd position across from on the outside Cromwell. Then we'll go back down here to Avonside Girls in lane 2. Out to Wanaka. Back inside again will come to Union. Then across on the outside to Timaru 11 for that B final. The A final, however, into the last 1,000 they come for the women's intermediate double sculls A final. And it is with Wanaka 1 out there, Dunstan Arm and Otago Uni. Those 3 crews starting to move away from the rest of the field. Back inside we then go to Timaru 41. We come across to, well, probably then Canterbury, Avon, Burnside. Back across to Marion and Whakatipu. Just by the umpire boat there you can see the crew from Wanaka. Wanaka and Dunstan Arm and Otago. So Otago, Mania and Hannah. Faint and Neem in Dunstan Arm 1. And then Wanaka is Anika and Annie. Timaru 41, Scout and Sahana, they'd be in lane 3. Going into the starting blocks right now, we have got the men's novice coxed 8 final. So I'll take that one for you, and then I'll hand over to... Oh, actually, we'll see how the timing goes. I might do the Masters final. Starting to slide out, they are now. So it's Dunstan still with Otago Uni outside of them. Otago Uni may have the advantage. A good battle going to come between Dunstan and Otago Uni. Just on the inside of them will be Wanaka. Those are the 3 crews. It looks like where the medals are going. Whakatipu 1 down in lane 1 starting to make a run and trying to push through to get up into at least 3rd. They've got some work to do though. And then we go across. We look at Timaru. We look at North End. Across the other side of the course then back to Canterbury, Avon and Burnside. But it was all Dunstan and Otago Uni. So the Dunstan crew of Fane and Neem looking at C to take on Otago Uni, Mania and Hannah. Back we go to Wanaka, Anika and Annie. These are the 3 crews that's going to come out of those ones. So who's going to get bronze, silver and gold here? Wanaka are not out of it. They're trying to put pressure on the Dunstan crew. Dunstan are just trying to keep ahead of the crew from Otago Uni. There's now daylight back to the rest of the crews. I thought Wanaka were trying to make a run, but they've just got a bit left to do. We're a bit harder to see on the angle, but I think that's right. And it is for Dunstan. So it's between Dunstan and Otago Uni. This is going to be close. They're almost rowing at the same stroke rate, the 2 crews. They're both sculling very easily, so it'll be interesting. Oh, here we go. Dunstan are gone. Dunstan have just moved up their rating just then as we spoke. You can see them lift. They're putting pressure now on Otago Uni. They're just starting to pull ahead of them. So will Otago Uni respond? Dunstan putting pressure on them. They've got about half a canvas over Otago Uni. Then back to Wanaka. Wanaka are out of 1st and 2nd. I think now they're starting to get a run on their boat. They could put Otago Uni under pressure, but it's still Dunstan. Otago Uni have gone again. Dunstan have got the advantage just. It's down to half a canvas, back to a bow ball with the stroke. Dunstan just still from Otago Uni as they head down to the line. It looks like half a canvas. Dunstan will take the gold. Dunstan over Otago Uni back to Wanaka. Then we'll come down to 4th will be the other Wanaka the Whakatipu crew down here in lane 1. Then we'll go to Timaru 41 with the Ron Carley Blades outside to North End, then across to Canterbury, back inside to Burnside High School, down here to Marion College, and on the outside will be Avon. Congratulations, Dunstan, tight row there, but got over the top of Otago Uni to take the gold medal. Thundering down the course is the men's novice coxed 8, lane 2, Christchurch Boys High School 3, Will Cullingham, Oakley, Blackburn, Finn Taylor, John D. Hickman, Harry Hawkes, Lawrence O, Ben Walker, Ryan Hong, Lachlan Dean. In lane 3, Christchurch Boys High School 2, Prasad Prabhu, Toby Dixon, Billy Gooch, Leo Wren, Daniel Flasansky, Patrick O'Regan, Charlie Greenslade, Miles Charter and Sam Moffat the Cox. In lane 4, Christchurch Boys High School number 1, Hugo Parnham, Ferdy Tan, Ruben Fifield, Joseph Hassan, Villiamu, Fina, Jamie Camo, Bradley Hickford, Jack Denhey, Blake Robson as the Cox. In lane 5, right out in the middle, they're leading them down are St Bede's College 1, Christopher Guinea, John T. Coburn, Blake Earl, Lucas Corcoran, George Kinder, Alex Cowan, Jake O'Sullivan, Andy Pedersen, Dara Lynch is the Cox. In lane 6, it's probably in third at the moment they would be, is St Andrews College 1, Henry Taylor, Toby Brown, William Gilray, Noah Farney, Caelan Graham, Timothy McLaren, Oliver Barker, Harry Pitts and Katie Steele as the Cox. In lane 7, we're with Otago Boys High School number 1, Harvey Brown, Zach Hall, Felix Frew, Harry McGuigan, Archie Colquhoun, Tom Dunn, Tim Siner, Andre Adams, Angus Perkins the Cox. Lane 8, Cromwell 1, great to see a novice 8 from Cromwell out there, James White, Connor Haig, Joseph Wood, Cormac Fitzgerald, Flynn Stewart, Hadley Farquharson, Oliver Dicey, Jacob Leclerc and Kaylee Butler coxing them. And completing the field out there in lane 9 is Nelson 1, Vince Eimer, Peter Gould, Harry Booker, Miko Harding, Oren Harbinson, Charlie Parker, Ali Nichols, Leon Seelan, Max Ashcroft as the Cox. But it's all St Bede's College number 1. St Bede's College number 1 right out there in the middle of the course in lane 5. They've been a strong Novi crew all season, and they're looking to do the business here. St Andrews College would be close second outside of them, inside lane 4 to Christchurch Boys High School number 1, and then there's a gap between those three crews. We'd go to Otago Boys, we would go to Cromwell, then we come back inside to Christchurch Boys High School number 2, then Christchurch Boys High School number 3. So great job being done here by St Bede's Novi 8. So soon the commentary will move to, in fact after this race we'll move the commentary over to Russell Mills. We'll take you through for the rest of the day. And while we see this St Bede's crew out in the middle of the course, a bit of interest around what might happen in the under 19 8 this afternoon. Goodness me, there'll be 2 to 3 boat links, maybe even more now between the St Bede's Novi crew going back to St Andrews College. Timed through for the women's intermediate double sculls. Dunstan going through in 7:59. Otago Uni going through in 8 minutes flat virtually, and then back to Wanaka 8:03. Look at that, through 250 metres they go. St Bede's College Novi 8 on their way to a emphatic result here. They would be 5 boat lengths now ahead of the crew from St Andrews College. St Andrews College and Christchurch Boys fighting it out for silver and bronze. Christchurch Boys with the pink caps on today, showing their support for Ben Mason's Foundation. And then across down we come with 100 metres to go now is the crew from St Bede's. Fantastic effort for this novice crew. Congratulations to the coach, Scott Rogers. Less than 50 metres to go as they spread the ducks. Men's novice coxed 8 final for 2023. Second's going to go the way of St Andrews College. They've got less than 100 metres to go now. Over goes St Bede's now. They get the buzzer. St Andrews coming down now. 50 metres to go. Then it'll be Christchurch Boys back to Otago Boys. Christchurch Boys number 2, and then on the outside to Cromwell. Then we'll come back to Christchurch Boys number 3 and Nelson. That's it for me for Canterbury Champs for 2023. I'll leave you in the very capable hands of Russell Mills. Please drive safely. Athletes, please get your medals. Spectators, please take your rubbish with you.
Thanks, Ian. Great crowd out there today for the 2023 South Island Rowing Championships. The gold medals have been spread all over the place. Talking about medals, if you don't go and pick up your medals by 2:30 this afternoon, I'm pretty sure they're going to raffle them all off and all the proceeds will go back into South Island Rowing. So that's an incentive for you to get back and get those medals as quick as you can. Don't forget, as Ian says, if you packed it in, you pack it out. Absolutely sprint racing and finals today. Congratulations to everyone that's been there and done that. In fact, also congratulations to all the ones that didn't win, that have made the regatta. You know, like we continue to say, blessed are the losers, for they create the winners. Okay, this is a Masters race, 2:37 of your program. They are right on time. They've been right on time all regatta so far today in the finals. Union Composite with Canterbury down in 3, Avon in 4, Union Composite with Cromwell in 5, Union 3, Union 1, Union 2 across the far side, and that's where it's coming from. It's Union with the Cromwell, that's Maud O'Connor in the bow seat. Gosh, birthday yesterday, out in front for a gold medal today. Now don't forget medals. Get through and get your medals nice and early, or get a parents to pick them up for you. So that's the composite. It's the Union Cromwell composite that's going down the line to take the title for 2023 here on Lake Ruatana for the Mackenzie country. And if you're being affected by the heat, you're in the South Island. So Union Composite Cromwell, Union right on their right-hand shoulder behind them. Don't forget these races are handicapped, of course, depending on their age group. And then we go to a Avon combination, across the far side to Union again. Right inside them is another Union crew. Gosh, Union could have a regatta on their own. Getting into the last hour of racing, guys. You've been brilliant spectators. There's a huge crowd here. One of the biggest crowds for an ordinary South Island Championships I think I've ever seen. We have, again, like we did at the Canterbury Champs, we have got the camper vans and camper trailers going all the way through to the 1,000 metre peg. And if you haven't been up the 1,000 metre peg, get up to the 1,000 metre peg and have a wee listen to what goes on up there. You can sit there for a wee while. You've only got about an hour's racing to be able to do it. So get up there. So your program moves on to 2:38 of the regatta, the boys under 15 coxed quadruple sculls. Otago Boys High School down in lane number 1. St Thomas of Canterbury in 2. Otago in 3. Shirley Boys in 4. Twizel, what a regatta. 3 gold medals so far for Twizel out of 5 in the fast lane here. Wakatapu is in lane number 6. Otago Boys have got a second crew in 7. Wairo has got 2 crews eyeballing each other in both 8 and 9. And Burnside right out the outside. Not the inside, the outside. It's coming from Wairo. Oh, right in between them, right in the middle of the course. Wakatapu. They're gone through the 1,000 metre. They're in that third 500 now. This is where the old legs start to shake. This is where a lot of the coxswains and the coaches have told the coxswains to put the pressure on. You've got to nail the crew in the third 500 to give yourself a run home. And then you've got to be able to crank those hands up on the way home. It's the yellow boat out in front of Wakatapu. Wakatapu out in front, and on their right-hand shoulder they have got the crew from Otago Boys number 2. On their left-hand shoulder, they have got Twizel. How far back is Twizel from the lead? Oh, Twizel's right there. Otago Boys right there. And on Otago Boys' right-hand shoulder, only 3/4 of a length away is Wairo. Then we come right back down the inside, locked up with them, Otago. Johnny McGlashan Boys, they're going along really, really well there in lane number 3. Otago alongside them as well. It's Avon. It's Otago and Shirley Boys right alongside them. So we go back to the leaders, and this is Wakatapu. Wakatapu, and they have got a lead of about 2 1/4 lengths, I would say, over the crew from Otago. Otago up into second place, silver medal opportunities. The medals have been spread out throughout all clubs in the South Island at this regatta. It just shows you when you haven't got the RPCs out there taking all the medals, then they get spread out over all the rest of the clubs. Also be aware that you've been asked to weigh boats. There's a caller going down there calling in boats. So if your boat's underweight, if it's underweight, you lose your medals. Wakatipu, they've taken a few medals today still. Otago still there in second place, and then right through the middle of the course on the right of Wakatipu is Twizel. Twizel going for another medal. Right the middle, Twizel putting some pressure on Otago. Look out Otago, Twizel's coming at you, and they just push hard, Twizel. They push hard, they're coming up to Otago. They're going through the 100 buoy line, locked together. The leaders have got the gold medal that go to the lakes. Wakatip takes the gold. Twizel coming home on Otago. Otago are too slow. They've just woken up to the fact now that Twizel's coming through. I wouldn't like to say they are locked together there. It's just about a foot advantage to Otago. They look at the outside. It could be Otago. Twizel, we've got to have to call again. Then we go to Shirley Boys, Targa Boys, down the inside St Thomas of Canterbury, back out the far side to Wairo. Wairo back a wee bit with their second crew, and alongside them is Burnside. Earlier on when I had my session this morning, I had 4 races that I couldn't have told you who, because our computer is down offline, and I couldn't have told you who was going to be first or second. The row at sight was pretty good. Okay, the A final of the Mixed Masters coxless quads went through in 3:33. Oh, that's pretty slick. Mind you, it's a pretty slick looking crew. Kirsty Mahoney and Gigan Gogos and O'Connor. Right, girls under 16 coxed 4 final. Rangi Ruru's their number 3 crew in lane 1. Marion College in 2. Rangi Ruru School for Girls in lane number 3. That's their number 2 crew. Timaru is their 11, is in lane number 4. Rangi Ruru's 1 crew is in 5, the fast lane. Wairau, lane 6. Oamaru, lane 7. St Margaret's College in 8. Timaru 12 and 9. And Christchurch Girls High School number 2 crew out in 10. Girls under 16 cox 4. Most likely been rowing 3rd-year rowers, I would think, sometimes 4-year rowers there. We're well down through the course into that second 500, and we have got a crew that's gone out to obviously and opened up a big gap. Coming out of lane 6, showing Wairo colours by the look of it. Yep, out of lane 6. So Wairo, that's the crew that's in front, and they have a commanding lead of something like 3, 4, 5 lengths. On their left-hand shoulder is Rangi Ruru. On their right-hand shoulder, they've got Oamaru. So there's the 3 going for medals as they head into the third 500. From there, we go from Oamaru. We go to St Margaret's College, but they were about 2 or 3 lengths off Oamaru, and then 3/4 of a length back to Timaru. Timaru are actually in behind Christchurch Girls number 2, are ahead of Timaru on the far side, and they are locked up with lanes number 2, which is Marion College, and we have the 3rd crew of Rangi Ruru down on the inside, and there's a crew in the middle there that we've missed, and we'd say Timaru, I would think. So as we head down, the next lot that gets the fast 500, it's Rangi Ruru, but the Wairo crew right out in the middle of the course. Oh, it's a big, strong-looking crew. We're going to get a clock on them for you to see what they're doing. They're on 34.5. They're just tipping over 34.5. They're on 35, say. So they come down and they're quite clear of Rangi Ruru. And that's the Rangi Ruru number 1 crew. And then we have to come down to lane number 3. It looks like Rangiruru's number 2 crew. Rangiruru 2. Looks like it's going to be on the dais as well. These 3 crews have all sorted themselves out. No pressure can come on from Oamaru. Oamaru's the only one that can put any pressure on now. Timaru in the middle of the course putting pressure on Oamaru, but we'll go back to the leaders and 100 metres to go for Wairo. Down towards the buzzer, 2023, the title, the gold medal, the title, and everything will go way up north to the top of the South Island. They've had a great regatta since they've been down here. The last couple of regattas, they are very, very strong. A lot of these crews will most likely come out of Marlborough College, I would imagine, and Marlborough boys and Marlborough girls. Rangiruru will take the silver medal, and Rangiruru's number 2 crew is going to take the bronze medal. Then we go Oamaru 3/4 of a length back. We go 2.5 lengths back to Marion. Marion's locked up with Timaru, and then locked up together we have the outside of Christchurch girls, St Margaret's, Timaru, and Rangiruru number 3 crew. The boys under 15 coxed quad sculls was won by Wakatipu in a 7:11. Then Otago 7:15. That's the James Hargis boys and Twizel. So it looks like Otago got up to beat Twizel in that very, very tight finish in the boys under 15 coxed quadruple sculls. Right, we've got ourselves a B final now, guys. 240 races. You'll never see it anywhere else. 10 lanes, a race every 4 minutes. You're in one of the best sports in the country, and you're certainly on the best course in the world. Huge crowd. Get them behind them down the 300. We're always giving you guys a call. We want you to get right in behind these crews and give them the best. Pack it in, pack it out. Support the canteens, the row shops, the coffee. Erin is down there with the coffee. Drew's down a little bit further. They've got coffee over at the row shop. Steve, if you want to get a Mr. Whippy, don't forget, pop across and see Steve and get a Mr. Whippy off him. B final has Villa Maria in lane number 1. We go out from there. Columba College 2, Cure Boating Club, Cashmere High School, Avon Composite with Canterbury, Columba College 1, Invercargill and Otago Girls number 2, Wanaka and Avonside Girls High School. Absolutely been brilliant conditions for the whole weekend. There was even a little breeze up before that lumped the water up a wee bit, and it's gone right back down again. That's making for pretty quick times. It'll be interesting in the boys under 19 8s whether they can crack the 6 minutes again. I'm sure they will with the trailing wind. It's coming out of lane number 5. Number 5 it's an Avon Composite with Canterbury. Swinging along very nicely with a lead of about 1.5 lengths on the right-hand shoulder of them should be Columba College, the wide of Columba College, and then Columba College has got a 2-length advantage over the crew on the right side of them, Invercargill. Invercargill again's got a 1.5 lengths advantage over Otago Girls number 2, and then we go Wanaka and I don't think we see the outside crew. There's nothing outside Wanaka, so Avonside Girls must be scratched. If you've got a day sheet, they're not there on the outside anyway. But we come down on the inside and we have the colours of Cashmere and Villa Maria. And then right down the very inside, we have that crew from Villa Maria, Columba number 2 there. So it's Villa Maria is ahead of Columba number 2, who is back off the pace a little bit. Well ahead of them is Cure Boating Club. We're coming in from the inside to the out. Then we've got the Gold of Cashmere, but they're all chasing the 2 crews out in front. Now the bronze medal can come from anywhere, but they're sitting out in front, the composite crew. This is an Avon Canterbury composite crew. There's 2 Canterbury scullers in the 1 and 2 seat. and there's 2 Avon Scullers in the 3 and 4 seat. Columba College trying to bridge back on the composite crew up towards the gold buoy lines. There would only be about 3/4 of a length between them. Now just take a look at both strokes, because they're in the yellow buoys, and if a race is ever going to be won, it's going to be won now. Columba College a little slow. Now they're starting to wind up. Columba College. Oh, there's trouble in the composite crew. Oh, it's just given the gold medal to Columba College. They caught something, and it wasn't a 12-pound trout, that's for sure. And all of a sudden, Columba College, who was just starting to do a move anyway, but something happened in that crew. I don't know that it was a crab, because there's no crabs in the lake. It must have been one of those big trout. Oh, they've done it again. Avon have done it again on there. Something's happened. Something's happening with that composite crew. It's given Columba College, and look at Columba College take advantage of it. They'll go down and take the title and the gold medal. I just don't know what happened. I couldn't pick up, but there was 2 very lazy oars coming from Avon. It's the Avon composite. Oh, they're very, very sluggish out of the water. That's what the problem is. They got caught in the water. They're too slow. They've got the silver medal, though. And then on the top side of Columba College is Invercargill are going to go home with the bronze medal. Then we go from there, we go Otago Girls back down the inside to Cashmere, Cure, Villa Maria, Columba College too, across the far side. Well done, not only that, also Invercargill. So Frank and Penny, you're going to take a bronze medal back to the Aridi River. That's way down south where the pineapples grow. Oh, that was a B final. So it was great racing. It was a B final, so there's no title or medals going for that. But good racing for the B final anyway. So the A final, this is the Guns. We'll dish out a title and a medal for this. Marion College in 1. We go out from there. Dunstan Arm, Ashburton, St Andrews College, Nelson, Wakatipu, Twizel, Timaru, Union. The only club with 2 in it is Timaru out there in 8 and 9. Now we'll have the medals dished out. Not in that last heat, nevertheless. The big yellow boat in the middle of the course. We know where that comes from. Out of lane number 6, Wakatipu. Out of lane number 6, any pressure on them, it could be coming from the 3 in Ashburton. So Ashburton also having an excellent regatta here for 2023. Right on the right-hand shoulder is Twizel. So the women's novice crew from Twizel now, they're just inclined to dig in and get long strokes. Twizel inside the last 400 metres. They just seem to reach out a little bit further and get a big long stroke, and they just drive. They really drive as hard as they can. They're a wee bit off back though, but it's going to be there on the right-hand shoulder of the leader. Twizel, I think, up into second place at this stage, but it's the yellow boat in the middle of the course, and we can't forget the sleeper lane down on the inside on lane number 2. That's Dunstan Arm. Dunstan Arm novices look to be just starting to hit form. They've been back in the last 2 regatta championships, but they're coming into form now. Right out further, Twizel, there's a crew right out further too, and they could be very close to being in front. Oh, Dunstan might even be in front as they look at it. And then we go right out 3 from the outside. That's one of the Timaru crews. That's Timaru number 1 or 11. So it looks like Dunstan Arm. It's Dunstan Arm that's got the lead. It looked very much like Wakatipu. It's had it all sorted out, but Dunstan Arm sneaked along the inside of lane number 2. And they're a line that the coxswains won't look at. The coxswains won't even know lane 2 because they'll think it's a slow time. And they'll think, what's the use of looking at the slow time crews? And all of a sudden, you'll just get this one crew, and you also see one of the slower times from Timaru. So it's Dunstan Arm. Dunstan Arm going for about their 3rd gold medal or 4th gold medal over Timaru on the far side, and Ashburton in the middle. And also alongside Ashburton, There's the crew from St Andrews as well, and they are bringing Wakatip. Oh, Wakatip's not even going to be in the hunt now. So Dunstan clearly go through and take the gold medal and title. Ashburton's going to get the second buzzer, and right across the far side you'll find it's Timaru. Ashburton the second buzzer. Oh, Timaru, all right on the top side of Ashburton was the St Andrews crew. So again, we've got a situation where I don't know who's taken the minors. All we know is that Dunstan's taken the gold. Women's novice cox quads. Columba College went through in 8:10. 8:15 for Canterbury, and Invercargill 8:22. Well, we have had some great racings here 2023 at the South Island Rowing Championships. That's good to see the crowd getting right in behind everybody. Huge crowd here. There'll be anything like 1,500 to 2,000 people. There's 1,100 competitors here at the 2023 South Island Rowing Championships. So that gives you an idea of how big the sport is in the South Island. Now we go to a B final, a men's intermediate single scull B final with Waihopai in lane 1, and we move out from there. Dunstan Arm, Wanaka 3, Wanaka 2, Burnside 2, St Bede's 1, Burnside 1, Ashburton 2, Otago 2, and St Andrews College. And a couple of crews have opened up a bit of a gap. It looks like the Burnside sculler has got an advantage over St Bede's. They are the two that open up a big gap, and then we go 3 to 4 lengths back to Burnside number 2. And Burnside number 2 has only got a slight advantage over Wanaka 3. Wanaka 3 has got an advantage over Dunstan, and they've got a length and a half over Waihopai. And then we go right out the very far side with 3 crews across there, Ashburton, Otago and St Andrews across the far side. So coming up to the yellow boys, and it is Burnside. This is Joel Hood from Burnside, and he's got a length and a half advantage over Wanaka 2, which is Anton Jones from Wanaka number 2. No, it's not Wanaka, it's Burnside. It is Burnside at St Bede's, so it's Burnside number 1. I can see it's a Burnside number 2. And there's a little bit of pressure going on him as well from St Bede's, the St Bede's boys. So it's 2 Burnside and St Bede's. He's jammed in the middle of them like a hunk of lettuce in your burger. Beside the 2 Burnside boys as they go down, the St Bede's trying to get a little bit closer to him, but I think he's got it under control. The B final's going to go to the Burnside number 1 sculler, Max Wallace. St Bede's, Quinn O'Sullivan will be second, and the Burnside number 2 crew, that's Joel Hood for Burnside number 2. Then we come down to Wanaka, Dunstan, Waihopai, Wanaka again. Across the far side, the yellow boat of Ashburton. Otago alongside him, and St Andrews back off the pace a little bit. We'll immediately go up and pick up the A final for you. Now the women's novice cox quads, Dunstan went through in 7:55. The second very close finish to Ashburton in 8 minutes neat. And St Andrews took the bronze medal in 8:01, and they were 8:02 for Timaru. So very close between second, third and fourth in the girls' novice coxed. Right, this A final of men's intermediate single sculls, Ashburton in 1. Then we go Twizel, Nelson, Wairo, Avon 4, Avon 1, Canterbury, Cure, Wanaka, Avon 3. So Avon got the 3 crews through into the A final of the men's intermediate single sculls. Excellent performance, and that's who it's in front. It's Avon. Avon in the middle of the course. Coming out of lane 5 he is. It's Avon 4, Sam Barnett. He's got the fast lane, so he obviously had the quickest time. And then we go out from there. We go out to the 2 crews on the white of Canterbury, it looks like, and right on his shoulder, it looks like the Cure Boating Club. Sir David Hatton is up into the silver medal position, and Cure Boating Club Jacob Wadley is in the bronze medal position, and there's like a second division. These 3 guys have opened up a huge gap on the rest of the field, which is chased up by the crew or the sculler from Ashburton. And then we go back to Twizel, Nelson, Wairo in there, a second Avon crew in the middle of the course, and then right out the far side is Wanaka and Avon 3. But it is Avon in the middle of the course. It's lane number 5. It's Avon 4, Sam Barnett. He's going to take the title back to the Avon River, and he'll take the gold medal, and there's nothing in the other 2. There's a great race on between Canterbury and Cure. At this stage, Cure's got about a foot advantage. Canterbury's coming back with some long strokes. Cure just hanging on. Canterbury can't do it. Cure's got it by about 2 feet in the end. Great finish just to get a gold or a silver biscuit. Then we come down the inside. There's Ashburton. Alongside him, Twizel Rower, 3 crews in the middle. Wairo, Avon 1, Canterbury. Across the far side to the crews from Wanaka and Avon 3. They're really shooting them down through the course. Now at the end of the regatta, or any time through the regatta, I tell you what guys, if you know any of the volunteers or any of the umpires, or if you see them and they could have a black shirt on or a blue shirt on, or they could have a grey shirt on, please just tap them on the shoulder and say what a brilliant job you've done. The starters have been unbelievable at this regatta and what they've been able to achieve. So men's club double scull B final, Shirley Boys number 2, Canterbury 2, Nelson 1, Cure Boating Club 2, Cure Boating Club 1, Wanaka 1, Canterbury 3, Otago 1, St Bede's 1, Burnside 1. It should come from the middle of the course, but it's coming from lane 4 by the look of it. Looks like the colours of Cure Boating Club. Out of lane number 4, which is their number 2 crew. Theodore, he's a Masters rower, and Ashton. That could be a Masters combination for Cure Boating Club. Going along pretty well, the B final, the men's club all dubbed sculls, and got themselves about a 4-length advantage over any other crew. And it's coming from on their left, which is Nelson. Nelson on their left up into second place, and on their right is the other Cure crew. So at this stage, we just don't forget the crew right out the far side, the lightly colours of Burnside. They're in with the chance of being up in the top 12 in the country as well, or 12 in the South Island anyway. Inside the 100 metre buoy line, it's Cure Boating Club that'll go through. They're going to take the buzzer in the B final. The A final's way down the track. So we'll bring this all the way through for you. So it's Cure Boating Club. They're going to get the buzzer. They're 5 lengths clear of Nelson. Nelson getting pressure on from Cure Boating Club's number 1 crew. And there's your first 3. Then we go right out the floor. We go on the reach. Go Wanaka. Wanaka locked up with Burnside on the far side and Otago creeping in between those 2. Then we come into the middle course of Canterbury's number 3 crew. Right down the inside is Shirley Boys. And then we go to Canterbury's number 2 crew. And that's the field for the B final. Yeah, just talking about the volunteers, guys. Don't forget, everybody that helps run this regatta are volunteers. And it's always, regattas run exceptionally well if you've got good water. But if it wasn't for the brilliant knowledge and experience of the starters, Justin Wall and Barry Clydesdale, and also some other umpires that get a chance to go up there, then we would never be able to have a regatta as good as what this is. And of course the competitors themselves have behaved themselves. We haven't had to put anybody on Alcatraz Island for this regatta. Men's intermediate single sculls A final. Avon went through in 7:45. Cure Boating Club from Canterbury was 7:48, and then we go to Canterbury at 7:48. Right, your A final for the men's double sculls. Down in lane number 1, we have Cashmere High School. Lane 2, we have Shirley Boys High School. From there, we go out to Avon 1, Dunstan Arm 2, Canterbury 1, Dunstan Arm 1, Wakatipu number 1, Otago University 1, Wairo number 1, and Timaru number 3 crew. So Dunstan Arm look as if they're the only club with the 2 crews in it, the men's club double sculls. The fast lane has gone to Canterbury, and then they're squeezed up between 2 Dunstan Arm crews on either side. And we look down through the course, and that's not what's happening going on those positions. It is the Dunstan Arm crew that's in front, but it's the older combination. I think that's Lloyd, Simon Lloyd combination. So Simon Lloyd and Henry Clotworthy, that's the crew that's sitting in front. Now on their right-hand shoulder is the crew from Wakatipu, which is Xavier Small and Ashton White. Those 2 lads, but they were about a good 2 lengths down off the leader. And then on their left, there is the crew in Canterbury, but they've got the fast lane, but they're not in the hunt today because the other Dunstan crew, Dunstan 2, the 2 young fellas, young Matthew King and Jed McIntosh, they are up into about the 3rd place, almost 2nd place. So Canterbury, who's got the fast lane, is just back off the pace a little bit. They're back and forth. And then we go back to Wakatipu's up into a 3rd position. Otago University's down a couple of lengths from them. And then we go to Wairo. And I think there's a crew should be all right on the outside, which is Timaru. And we don't see Timaru. We see Canterbury. We see Otago University. And we don't see anybody after that. So we don't see a Wairo crew or a Timaru crew. And because we haven't got our computer going, we don't know where the scratchings are. So we've just got to work them out. So it's the 2 Dunstan combinations, the two older guys against the 2 young up-and-coming guys. It looks like Dunstan Arm are going to go gold and silver and take the title. It's a matter of who's going to take it. The 2 young guys had the slower time, and they had the quicker time in the heats yesterday. But there are a couple of old dogs, the 2 out on the far side, and that's the crew that's in front. Simon and Henry, they're out in front by a good length now over the 2 young fellas from Dunstan Arm. Canterbury now just starting to come into it. Canterbury just starting to really get their gear together, and they're starting to creep up alongside the crew from Wakatipu. Canterbury now just about ready to move into 3rd place. Oh, Wakatipu re-rallied again. Wakatipu, they've come again. Canterbury are coming at them with every stroke. You can see the gold and silver go to Dunstan Arm, and it looks like Canterbury's got through on top of Wakatipu and gone through and taken the bronze medal. Oh, you could just see Canterbury starting to build from the yellow boys onward. Wakatipu had the 3rd place all the way through the yellow boys and got nabbed on the line. And then we go back now to Otago University. There's nothing outside them, so we come down to the inside crews, which is Avon, Shirley Boys, and just ahead of them is Cashmere. We'll get you a time when we can, but we can give you the time of the B final, which was Cure, 7:07. Oh, that was pretty quick for a B final too. Nelson, 7:19, and the second number 2 crew that's the number 1 crew from Cure was in 7:19.25. Women's Club Double Scull B final race 2:46. North End 2 in lane 1, and out from there we go Union 2, Cromwell 1, Marion College 2, Timaru 41, Cure Boating Club 1, Marion College 1, Ashburton 1, Timaru 11, and Villa Maria College number 2. Just waiting for that men's club double scull time to come through, and we'll get it to you straight away. We'll get it at the same time as you, because we are getting our timing from the Rowett site now, but we're not getting it on our computers, so it's about the same time by the look, waiting time to get them through. Getting towards the end, guys. Don't forget, please don't just get up and leave your rubbish lying around. We'd like you to pick it up. We'd appreciate it. Here we go. We've got the time through. Oh, 6:53. So it was Henry Clotworthy and Simon Lloyd went through for Dunstan in 6:53. 6:54, only 1 second behind them was the young fellas, which is Matthew King and Jed McIntosh. And then we go back to 7:01 for Canterbury. Yeah, don't forget your Macintosh. We've got a saying here, if you're a novice spectator, if you pack it in, you pack it out. And I hope that if you are a novice spectator that you've thoroughly enjoyed the weekend's rowing. I know the spectators from the 500 in the camper vans down to the 1,000 metre have been talking to them, and they are absolutely loving the conditions, sitting out. When the crew's going to the start, they could put their hand out and almost touch them. So they're seeing the crews going to the start and seeing them race down. So they're really enjoying it up there. Come back again in 2 weeks' time if you've got a week off. We go right out the outside, which is they've got the Craighead oars, which is Timaru, showing the Craighead oars and the Craighead boat. We come 2 inside them, which is Ashburton. And then we come on the left-hand side of Ashburton is the crew from Marion. We'll just check that is Ashburton for you. Yeah, it's definitely Ashburton. And then Marion on the Marion College on the inside of them. It's more like Cure Boating Club. So we go out to the top side, Timaru, but I think they've had the lead taken off them. We'll just check that lane saw. There's a different colour there from what it should be. We'll just check that out for you. It's lane number 7. It is Marion College. They're the ones that have done the move from that last 500. They've pushed it where the legs start to wobble down a wee bit. And they're coming up to the yellow boys. You've got to go again, Marion College, because that topside crew, Timaru, is going along pretty well. It's Ashburton that's back off the pace a little bit. Marion are bringing Cure Boating Club with them. And everybody's forgetting about the crew right down on the inside out of lane number 1, the slow lane. North End's number 2. Peter and Maddie. Bridget, these 2 girls are going along pretty good as well. So it's right down on the inside maybe. Even the commentators forget about them. And then right across Marion College. Marion College getting pressure put on them from Timaru. In the meantime, North End, nobody's looking at North End. They're away across here in lane number 1. And then we have the crew from Cure Boating Club trying to creep up on the leaders as well, but they are about 2.5 lengths down. And then on the top, out into lane number 3, we go Cromwell. They're having a good row, the 2 Cromwell girls as well. So down towards the line, they're definitely gone to the front. The North End combination have gone to the front. They will come out of St Hilda's, you can guarantee it, and they'll go down and get the buzzer for the B final. They get it over Marion College. Third will go to the top side, which is Timaru. In the middle goes Cromwell and also Cure Boating Club. And then we come back from there. We go to Marion, number 2 crew. Timaru's number 4 crew. Villa Maria at the top side and Ashburton. So that A final. The A final will have North End 4 on the inside. Then we go to Avon 1, Cashmere High School, Canterbury, Dunstan Arm, North End 2, Canterbury 2, Nelson 2, I Hope I 1, and Nelson number 1 for race 2:47 of the regatta, due to go out of the 2,000 metre starting blocks at 6 minutes past 2. They are right smack bang on time. Right, again we're just getting the odd 1 or 2 crews going to the front. We've got to be careful of those outside crews are well up on the outside, but we go to the middle lanes. I think it looks like lane number 6, which is the crew from North End. That's North End's number 1 crew. Olivia Openshaw and Kirsty Foster. They're coached by Bridget MacArthur and Mike Hill, and maybe Jazz. You must have had something to do with these as well, but we'll give you a little bit of credit. Jazz McIntosh as well may help them out. Right, that B final for the men's club double sculls went through. Cure went through in 7:07. Right. So the action's not coming from the flared effect here, guys. The fast lane's not performing that flash. It's Cashmere. Out of lane number 3, it's Cashmere High School. Abby and Poppy. Matt and Arlia will be pretty happy with the way they're going. This is an A final for Cashmere. Oh, I hope they can get on the dice. Cashmere, keep the power on, because you're getting a little bit of pressure put on them from the white on the top side. Canterbury, Stella and Ash. They're only about 3/4 of a length. There's nothing separating those 2 crews. They're very, very close indeed. We want a gold medal, want to go to the Avon River. We'd love to see Cashmere take one. And I tell what, Canterbury doesn't want to see them take one, because they are really only about 3/4 of a length away from them. They're heading into the yellow buoys. Now we're taking a look for where the bronze medal might come from down in lane number 2. A Union crew from lane 2 could be up in bronze medal position. We go right out the far side. Nelson, nothing between Nelson and Waihopai, and in the middle of the course we have a North End number 1 crew. So inside the yellow boys in Canterbury of moving on Cashmere. Come on, Cashmere, we've got to come up 2 more. Canterbury coming right up alongside Cashmere. The 2 crews are going to lock horns. Cashmere have only woken up to the fact now, and they've decided to go. Canterbury have come up 2 more. They've come up again. They're in within 2 feet, and I think Canterbury are going to row over the top of them. Cashmere, don't look out, just go for it. Cashmere's still hanging on. Canterbury coming in. I think Cashmere have got them under cover. 2 feet in it. They go down and get the buzzer. It's a canvas. There was a great go, Canterbury. They picked up a good half length inside the yellow boys. And you'll find that Union are going to take the bronze medal. The title goes to Avon. In fact, all the three biscuits go to Avon River. Then we go to North End, cross the far side, Nelson, Waihopai. Just inside them is Canterbury's 2 crew. Then we come into the middle of the course, never gave you a mention, North Dunstan Arm. And then across the far side we have a Nelson crew, and down on the inside here we have North End 4. We're seeing a lot of races where crews are just getting the upper hand right on the line. Men's Premier coxed 8s. They should, with that tailing wind, go under 6 minutes today. Let's take a look at the tailing wind. Yeah, it's good enough. Premier 8s were 6:02 yesterday, I think. With the tailing wind, we might see them go under 6 minutes today. St Andrews in lane 4, Avon in 5, Christchurch boys in 6, and Avon number 2 and 7. It was Avon number 1 yesterday, and it looks very much like it's Avon number 1 again today that's out in front through the 1,000 metre peg. Christchurch boys desperately. I think at the Canterbury Champs, Avon won the heats, and Christchurch boys came out and won the final at the Canterbury Champs 2 weeks ago. And yesterday in the heats, Avon nailed Christchurch boys again, and they've got them well under control here. They've got 3/4 of a length on them. Avon have gone out and says, we're not going to let the schoolboys get close to us today, guys. And they have got a good 3/4 of a length lead over Christchurch boys. Then we go 2 to 2.5 lengths back to the second Avon crew, and they in turn have got, maybe only a 3/4 of a length advantage over St Andrews on the inside. No, St Andrews are ahead of the Avon crew, 2 crew on the far side. But it's a good length. It's a good length and a half. So Avon have got a good length and a half. Get them behind them, the Avon supporters down there, or are they down around the corner here? Avon. You can just see the little body lift as they drop the oar into the water. They've got to use the water as a leverage and move that boat past it. They're very, very quick into the water, and you'll get a little backsplash as they go into the water. It tells you that they're all entering properly, and I've got them on 36. So that 8-packer won't drop down in the water inside the Gold Boys. They just won't drop down at that rating. 36 is brilliant for an 8. And they'll go down to the line. It's a matter of what time they'll do. We've just got to keep an eye on it. We can give you the Cashmere time for the gold medal was 7:40 for the women's club double sculls. In the meantime, Avon have just kissed goodbye to Christchurch boys. They have really opened up the gap today. They have mean business. This time will go under 6 minutes. That's for sure. Look at the power in that Avon crew as they go down and get the buzzer over the college crew, Christchurch Boys High School. What a great row. They're in Indian file as they go down, and like we always say, it's like going to the Addington Trots to see them in Indian file like that. What a great performance, Avon. Congratulations, you're the title holders, and you've got the gold biscuit for 2023 here at the South Island Championships. Christchurch Boys take the second, and it looks like St Andrews have got the third. Now, we'll give you that time for that women's club double sculls. Cashmere went through 7:40, and right behind them was the Canterbury crew in 7:41, and there's a big gap back to Union 7:52. So we'll wait and see what the time can come up with the Premier 8s, the elite class at rowing here at the South Island Championships. Women's Premiers. St Margaret's 2 down in lane 2. Christchurch Girls High School in 3. Avon 2 and 4. Avon 1 and 5. That's where the action will come from. Rangiruru in lane number 6. St Margaret's College 1 and 7. And Avon 3 out in lane number 8. Avon have got 3 Premier 8s. Wowee. Beautiful rowing conditions down at the 1,000-metre peg in the start. Brilliant throughout the whole course. The monsters have been well chained down on the course. We still haven't got that time through for the Premier Men's. We'll go through, and it's Avon. Just not too sure. I can't see the lane, so I don't know what lane it's in. I'll give you an idea though. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Avon 1. It's the Avon 1 out of lane 5. That's the crew that's in front going through towards the 1,000-metre peg. Right, we can give you... we knew that they would go under 6 minutes. Avon went through the men's Premier 8s in 5:55.35 with the tailing wind. I knew they'd be a bit quicker today with that little tailwind. And that wind is not much at all. That's a great time, 5:56. Hamilton boys went through this course quite some time ago at Marty Cup in 5:55. Avon number 1 has got an advantage over the crew on their right shoulder, which is Rangiruru, but they are a good close to 2 lengths behind them. And then on Rangiruru's right hand shoulder we've got St Margaret's the same distance back, about 2 lengths, and then we have to go from there. We go right out to the very outside crew. That's the St Margaret's number 2 crew, and behind them is Avon 3, and then we come to the inside. We should have Christchurch Girls, Avon 2, Christchurch Girls, nothing between those two, and just feeling the pinch a little bit, St Margaret's College number 2 crew. So it's Avon's gun crew, their number 1 crew over Rangiruru, the gold caps and the multicoloured boats of Rangiruru. Oh, I don't think it's 2 lengths, Millsy. It's only about 1.5 lengths. So Rangiruru came back at them a little bit in that third 500 yesterday. They may come back at them again. Oh, I don't know. We might be right. It could be 2 lengths, but there's 2 lengths and 2 lengths back. So it's Indian file again. It's Avon's 1 crew over Rangiruru, over St Margaret's. That's the first 3 are going to fight out the biscuits. I think you'll find, there could be some pressure come from inside 3. That's Avon 2. There's nothing between Avon 2 and the Christchurch Girls High School crew. They are eyeballing each other down here on the inside lanes. Then we go quite some time back to the crew from St Margaret's 2. They're a wee bit off the pace a little bit, finding it a little tough, and also the Avon 3 crew. Inside the yellow boys we go. Indian File as they come down. It's a length and a half advantage to Avon's number 1 crew over Rangiruru, a length and a half back to St Margaret's. Then we go maybe a length and a half back to the 2 crews locked together in lanes 3 and 4, which is Avon 2 and Christchurch Girls, right out the far side to Avon number 3 and back to St Margaret's, down towards the buzzer. The title and the gold biscuit is going to the Avon number 1 crew. They're usually just under an hour slow, a minute slower than the guys, so they should go through in about 6. I say about a 6:40. They'll go through in about 6:40, the Avon crew. Then we go to Rangiruru and Indian File, St Margaret's. St Margaret's are only a length clear of Christchurch Girls, and then Avon number 2, across the far side, Avon number 3 and Rangiruru. Right, now the men's under 19, 8 are coming down through the course, and we've got a special note here. The St Bede's crew that was so impressive yesterday in doing a 57.22 through the course are all wearing black bands. They're all wearing black bands, and the note is here that their coach, Dale Ma's sister, who passed away this morning. So South Island Rowing, Dale, and I'm sure all the spectators here, and certainly everyone from St Bede's tie-up, pass on their condolences for your sad loss while you have been here at this regatta. So we certainly, an awful lot of people know Dale. He's been around a long time. And it is so sad to hear that he had lost his sister this morning. So for a point of respect, this mighty crew that's sitting out in front, the Dale coaches, are all wearing the black bands. So it's a matter of what time they will do today with that slight tailwind. They'll go very, very close to their time yesterday. Can they beat the Premier 8 time of 5:56? Christchurch boys down in 3. Oamaru in 4. St Bede's the gun crew, that's the crew in front in 5. Christ College in 6. St Andrew's College in 7. And Christchurch boys number 2. Can they make it a joyful row for make it a little bit happier for Dale today? They are out in front. Gosh, they're a big, powerful crew, and they swing off some big oars. They look as if they're about 5 metres long. And that's a little thing for the novice spectators out there. The shorter the oar, the easier it is to get it through the water or get the boat past the leverage. The longer the oar, the harder it is. But boy, it'll give you some power. If you've got the powerhouse to be able to sweep off those big oars, then your boat's going to go a lot quicker than the one that's rowing with shorter oars. They do it correctly too. They all just slightly lean into their oar. Their slight drop of the shoulders into their oar. Gosh, it's a good solid 8. I don't know who's stroking it at the Canterbury Champs, the Targa Champs. I think Luke Hickling was doing the stroking, but I believe he was put in the 2 seat, but that's not him in the 2 seat today. It might be Luke back into the stroke seat. They come down inside the goal boys. They're too good for the rest of the field. I'll tell you what, the crew on the top side of them, Christ College, are a little closer to them today, because they won by about 150 metres yesterday, but Christ College are a little closer to them today, and Christ College has opened up quite a big gap over the crew from Christchurch boys, who are getting a little bit of pressure on them from Oamaru. And then we go out to the St Andrews crew and Christchurch boys number 2 crew at the back of the field. They go down and take the buzzer. It's going to Avon, the gold biscuit, and also the title for 2023 at the South Island Championships. The silver medal's going to go to Christ College, and you'll find the bronze medal. They're all going up to the Avon River. That goes to Christchurch boys, but a great row by the little club of Oamaru. A really impressive row from the Oamaru. It's one of the smaller clubs around, and that has just about only put them a half a length off taking a bronze medal. Then we go to St Andrews and Christchurch boys. We'll get that time for you as soon as we can. I would pick that it won't be as quick as the premiers. Women's premier coxed 8s. Avon went through in 6:39. I reckoned I told you that they'd go through in about 6:40. They've gone through in 6:39. So everybody thinks the commentators talk a lot of rot, that you'll find that they know they can be pretty accurate in the times that they row through. 6:40 down to 6:39 predictions from Millsy. It's a pity he can't pick his racehorses better than that. He'd be a very rich boy, he'd be a very rich boy. The last race of the day, guys, get them behind them. Don't forget, please don't leave any rubbish lying around. If you see any of the umpires or the volunteers, please tap them on the shoulder and say thanks for a brilliant regatta. It can only be a good regatta on good water, and it can only be as good as you guys putting your boats on the water and getting up there on time. So we've had 3 big championship regattas now on Ruataniwha, and every 3 of them we've had water like this. So the women's with only the 3 crews. Christchurch Girls High School in 4, Rangi Ruru in lane number 5, and St Andrews in 6. And I think yesterday it was Rangi Ruru, and that's the crew that's out in front again. Rangi Ruru, you're going to be too good for this field. They've got themselves a length and a quarter advantage over St Andrews as they head through the 1,000 metre peg and head down to the next big buoy line, which is 500 metres to go. Rangi Ruru off the Avon River in Christchurch. Christchurch girls on their left-hand shoulder, but they are about 3 lengths down off them. St Andrews on their right-hand shoulder. Oh, they're back off. Christchurch girls have got the advantage over St Andrews as well. Right. Oh, hey, there we go, guys. Yep. We have got that time for the men's under 19 coxed 8s. They've gone through in 6:06. Had a funny feeling it wasn't as quick as yesterday, even with the wind. There's a little bit of sadness in the squad, and we're with you all the way, Dale. And you know very well the South Island rowing is also with you. So St Bede's 6:06 couldn't match the time they done yesterday, and we can understand that, and we expected it. So it looks like Rangi Ruru is just too good for the other 2 crews and the under-19 girls. They'll set them up for a run at Mardi Cup, I would imagine, and there's a slight advantage to Christchurch girls over the crew from St Andrews. They head down the last race of the day. Be safe going home, guys. Rangi Ruru inside the goal, boys. Coxon will tell them this time now. Christchurch girls coming up to the goal, boys. They'll head through the goal, boys, this time now. And then St Andrews this time now. There's your 3 crews. All do their training on the Avon River. And I'm sure, I know it's St Margaret's, I think, that goes out to the Waimak and does a lot of their rowing out there, I think. So our condolences go out to Dale Maher for the sad loss of his sister this morning. And we can understand the St Bede's boys will be a little, because they hold Dale in high regard along with the whole rowing fraternity. Down towards the buzzer, gold, silver and bronze for just taking part in the race. But Rangi Ruru just a little bit too strong by 2.5 lengths. Another length and a half back to St Andrews. And that, guys, is the end of the 2023 South Island Rowing Championships here on the mighty lake. Drive safely. We'll see most likely some of you back here in 2 weeks' time for the start of the New Zealand Rowing Championships. A lot of the school crews quite possibly will be entering, I would imagine. A lot of them will be saving themselves for the big regatta up in the North Island. Mind you, the North Island's flooded out, so I hope there will be a rowing regatta up there at Mardi Cup. It would be sad to see that it was stopped through COVID a couple of years ago, and then it stopped through flooding this year. Just telling you. Don't forget your medals, guys. Get them picked up. Remember, they've got to be picked up by 2:30, otherwise I'll personally take them out there and raffle them off.